Hello, everyone. Um, well, it's Thursday, not Wednesday. It's Thursday, and we're here on the Thursday for a change. And
Yeah,
this
my
is
fault. My fault.
it's all right, lad. This is episode 75. Episode 75. Crikey, what a great thing! I can't believe it. We've done
75. God, we're
75.
reaching we're reaching the same numbers as your age, haven't we? I mean,
Yeah,
bloody hell.
nearly, lad. Mind you, I don't think I'll be alive at 75, to be honest. God, have a
Wow.
look at it, make it, then. Anyhow, um, welcome as always. And I always ask the same question, I know. What have you been watching, lad?
Well, I was just talking about it to you just before. It's been a weird one because, obviously with me being back at work and my mum's legs and all that sort of stuff have not been great. It's mostly stuff that have been on TV, but there's been a few films that have also turned up. So of course I've watched some other stuff. But what's been on? If anybody that looks at what's being broadcast on telly will tell you that ITV at 9 o'clock is a place where you can watch a number of films. Last week they were doing the Clint Eastwood films. So this week they went back to Sylvester Stallone, and of course they
Oh,
started off on Monday with The Expendables, and on Tuesday it was The Expendables 2, and Wednesday I would have been watching The Expendables 3, but of course I had a bit of a problem with my mum last night, so Expendables 3 did not get watched. But the thing about The Expendables is, and I do yawn a little bit about The Expendables, is it's a pretty popcorn film, isn't it? I mean, my God, if you ever think about it, I mean, it's loads of old action heroes getting together, as a band and doing some sort of James Bondy type thing where they've got to kill a drug lord or whatever it is. And the second film, when I was watching it, because I hadn't seen them for a long time, I've got them on 4K, but I haven't watched them on 4K yet. The second one, they were going along a zip line. One of those zip lines where
yeah, yeah,
and they're firing their guns while holding onto a zip
yeah,
line. You're going, how the
yeah.
hell do you do that? How do you hold onto a zip line with one hand? But then again, it's Sylvester Stallone. He's strong, isn't he? It's you could see it was special effects because all the backgrounds were blurred. It's almost like they're in a studio and they'd done that car bit. When you're in a car in the 50s and they backlight all of the driving through the windows.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? To make it look
yeah,
like they're driving along. It
yeah,
looked like that. I thought that's awful special effect. I mean, that's terrible when you consider
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
2000 film. I mean,
yeah,
that's atrocious.
yeah.
So I watched that, but at night when I was trying to go to sleep, I think it was on Tuesday, I turned it over, and I was talking to you about it before. I watched a film called Night of the Big Heat,
That's
and
right. Yeah.
it's not a Hammer. Is it a Hammer film? I don't think
I
it's a
don't think
Hammer
it
film.
is. No, I'm sure
It's
it's
one of
not.
those. It's one of
Yeah.
those ones that looks like a Hammer film. It's
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee
Yeah.
in it. It's a science fiction film in the mold of, I would say, like a Quatermass film or a later Quatermass film about aliens coming down and heating up the planet to get it to the right temperature so that they can invade. And this has happened because this film came out in 1967, so you have to sort of like bear that in mind. We hadn't landed on the moon yet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
was talking about our big aerials broadcasting messages
Yeah.
into space
Yeah.
saying, "Come to
Yeah.
us, we're
Yeah.
all friendly down here," that sort of thing, and obviously aliens are going to pick up that message, aren't they? Go, yeah, we're going to invade you, yeah.
Yeah.
So they came down. These aliens, you saw them at the end, and they're funny because they look like heated rocks. But,
Yeah.
but it's not that. It's more to do with. It's more to do with the commentary and the closeness of the fact that they're stuck in one sort of house that's got a
Yes.
bar type thing, and they're
Yeah.
all
That's
having
right.
chat
Yeah.
about what's
Yeah.
happening and why is this happening and what do you think
Yeah.
they're trying to do, and it's almost like a cabin in the woods type thing,
Yeah.
and then they're trying to
Yeah.
find some
Yeah.
place that they can get a message to people, or because we've worked out now what they're trying to do and we've got a way that
Yeah.
we can sort that out and all of
Yeah.
this sort of stuff. So it's
Yeah.
very good if you like that sort of thing.
No, it was. It was good. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So those are the things I think I watched on TV. I'll just turn the background off for a minute. And these are the things that have turned up in the post. So there's Creep Show 2 for me to look forward to in a nice deluxe packaging. I'm quite looking forward to watching
that. Does look good,
it's not as, I mean, Creep Show 1's one of my favourite films. But Creep Show 2, it's not that bad, but it gets worse after Creep Show 2. And of course, the TV series is brilliant. I mean, I've got 4 seasons of that. I think they've cancelled it now. You can tell I've watched these. You won't like these. You might as well switch.
I know what it is. I can guess.
Right. So my copies of Tron turned up, right?
Yeah.
These steel books, but you can see I've opened it up, look, and all of that sort of stuff.
I know everybody apart from me loves Tron, don't they?
I tell you what, that is a luscious encode. You know, they really restored it well. They spent 6 months on it. You can see that they've spent 6 months on it. Unlike the next one, which looks equally good, but they didn't do a 6-month restoration of this. And I think it's because it's later and the fact that it didn't really need too much. So all they needed to do was a 4K transfer of it, and that's Tron Legacy. It was interesting because some bloke on YouTube turned around and said, for those people that have got a Panasonic 820 player, just to let you know, there's a problem playing Tron Legacy. If you get to chapter 9, you'll find it won't play back. Well, I've got an 820 down there, but I've also got a 9000 over there, right? The 9000 being the most expensive one. And there was no problems with mine. I went straight to chapter 9, played it, and then I went to chapter 8 and played it through to chapter 10. No breakup, no things. But I'm not saying it's a scaremongering thing, because it's not. I think it might be what firmware your player is on. If you bought an 820 and you've got a newer model, you might find that that's why the problem is, because they haven't updated the firmware for a while, and that player's a bit old. But I've got the oldest version because I got it when it came out, the 820, and my one plays perfectly. So it could be just something to do. It could also be the disc. But he said he played it in another player, and it didn't do the same thing. So it's a bit hard. When people turn around and say, "Oh, just to let you know, this is happening in these," you have to turn around before you start scaremongering. I really think you have to try it in several players, you know, before you start going down this route, because otherwise you'll get everybody just coming back going, "No, it bloody well works. It must be a disc," and all that sort of shit. Anyway, Megan 2 turned up.
Oh yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. It's a really nice looking steel book, really. It's got that normal sort of shiny purple with a black silhouette type thing. It's very nice. I'm looking forward to that, because that'll be one. Now, I don't know why I bought this, but I bought it anyway. The live action version of How to Train Your Dragon. I'm looking forward to watching it, but I've never really been that into How to Train Your Dragon. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's a film. It's dragons in it. You know,
is that one that you accidentally ordered? Is it?
No, it's because I've got the it's one I bought because I've got the cartoons, so I bought it to complete the collection.
I get you. Yeah,
that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's not the Snow White.
Everybody loves Fright Night. This is the 4K steel book.
I like it, but I think it's not the best. I keep preaching. It's not the best vampire film.
I think Fright Night 2's got more comedy in it. The remake isn't that bad, but people compare it to the first one. I think which is a bad, because you should look at each film for its own merit, right?
Yeah.
So, you know,
but I mean, people go on about it as one of the great horror films.
The thing I'm disappointed with this Fright Night, right? It's the same bloody cover as the Blu-ray Steelbook they came out a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's the poster. Yeah. But you could have sort of like come up with a different, you know, thing. I mean, there's no way now of differentiating between the two. They look bloody the same. Except one's 4K and one's a blue, and this one contains the Blu-ray in it. So I suppose I could get rid of it. Jim Jam sent me a link, so I got Time Slip.
From
the 70s. Anybody that remembers the old 70s children's programs will recognize that Time Slip was sort of like the bigger brother of the Tomorrow People, I would say.
Yeah.
It's written in the same way as Children of the Stones, but Children of the Stones is a much better product than
Yeah.
Time Slip. But
Yeah.
Time Slip lasted for, what was it, 3 seasons? Was
I
it?
think so. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like 20 odd episodes. It's nice to sometimes go back and look at those things. It was
Yeah.
cheap as chips. It was like $3.99.
Oh well, you couldn't
Um,
refuse that. No.
I had the first 2 seasons, but didn't have the third, and this one came as the complete with a documentary. So I thought to myself, I'll get it $3.99. That's how much it cost for the third season. So I might as well bet they'll get the complete one, and the other 2 seasons can go to a nice home somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's that, but then of course that person would have to look for the third season, like I was going to have to do.
Yeah.
So but of course there's no harm in that, and that's that. I can't think of anything else really that I watched. Just to answer Sandra Clark, yes, Sandra, my mum is okay. Yesterday, unfortunately, she was in pain, and we had to call the 111 team out. They put a needle in her knee. I think it's a cortisone injection. They didn't tell me exactly what it is, but it relieved the knee enough for her to get a nice, peaceful sleep. And she's still in pain today, with the leg. I've put a cold compress like I'm supposed to do every day. We give her the cocodamol. The cocodamol has a problem. It causes problems with your bowels, basically. You get constipated. I don't want to go disgustingly down this route, but that's that. At the moment, I don't like the idea that the doctors just say, "Oh, give her painkillers." That masks the pain. It doesn't get rid of the problem. So we're still begging for an ultrasound to be done, and we're still looking at all things that we can do. A lot of things in regards to my life. I still haven't got my driving license back, although I phoned them today and they said that I insisted that their manager call the department and tell them to look at my case now.
Right.
I said it's been 8 weeks. 4 of those are since you've had the driving license application. You told me 3 weeks for a standard bloody driving license to be renewed. I've been waiting 4, and you keep telling me I'm priority 1. So God help you if you're priority, if you're the queen then, or if you're the king or something, and you want your driving license renewed. See how long he'd like to wait 8 weeks or something to be able to drive again. So yeah, things aren't great with me either, but you will have to apologize for me today. It's a little bit like last time. I will be off at sort of like 8:30 to check on my mum. My sister will be turning up between 8:30 and 9. I've got to be with her to do the stuff with my mum, because I need to lock the door and I need to make sure that we do it as quickly as possible. It does seem to go quicker when I'm around and she's around, whether that's because we're accordingly getting on with looking after my mum, and we don't get on, so we both want to leave the house as fast as possible. I want her out the door, and I want to be, and I want my mum to be in bed and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so at 8:30 I will have to go back in half an hour, guys. And leave it to you. But then I'm here all the way till the end. So you're stuck with me and my rants.
We haven't had one yet. Yeah,
tough
you can
shit.
have one,
I'll have a rant at all of you. Tough shit, and I'll be like a bad penny. There we go. And I'll let you talk now.
Okay. Right. Let's see.
Should I say I'll fall asleep while it's Tony
York that's corner, what you can do.
Tony York corner and Muckman hour or whatever
I picked this up for £2.
That's an all right. It's a terrible film, but an all right film.
It is. I was just going to say, for £2, I've never seen it. I thought I'll get it. Yeah, it's the 4th film, and they seem to get worse as they go on. And there's no Arnie in it, which is a big negative to it. To be honest, you've got to have Arnie, haven't you? Funnily enough,
it's like doing a Star Trek Academy with no Kirk.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what? What's this? What would Star Trek be like without a Spock? It's like
that's exactly. it's the big. But to be fair, he doesn't do it. Christian Bale, he's quite good in it.
Yeah.
He's and it's you know it's not as good, but it's entertaining. And it I thought as well on my system, it looked really good. It looked
Yes, it's sharp, but I think it's because of the color tone, and the fact that a lot of it is an action sequence at night or whatever
just
it is.
looked and sounded good.
It sounds great because they're all in vehicles all the bloody time.
Yeah, it really was. So that impressed me. So I mean, for £2, and they didn't charge postage, I couldn't refuse it really. So I'm glad I've got it. I need to get the one before.
Cy Robson said something really. I tell you, I understand where he's coming from with this. It's the funniest thing I've read actually for a while. I've honestly just started to hum the gallery tune from Tony Hawk when Ian starts his watches of the I thought if I could be in the corner going, and we'd so like to bring things back to you, but we cannot do that because we're going to burn them and put them in the bin when we're finished with them.
Right, thank you. Thank you. So, Mr. Tony, right, I'll go for the film. Sorry, Tony. Tony sent this film, and
what a shock!
It's Moby Dick, and let's be honest, I love Gregory Peck. I think he's a great actor, but in this film, totally miscast.
What a dick for sending that.
It's a. Have you ever seen this film? It's just not very. Exciting.
Is it the 80s? Is it the 80s?
1956.
Oh, I haven't seen. Right. I have seen the early Moby Dick film. There's been so many Moby Dick type films.
Yeah.
You know.
It's got Richard Basehart in it as well. Oh, I quite like Richard Basehart, young Richard Basehart. But and this always makes me laugh. Guess who pops up again? Orson Welles. And he makes his short appearance, grabs the cash, and then leaves the film. That's what it's like with him.
Sounds like Marlon Brando on Superman, doesn't it?
Yeah, he just put, hello, it's Orson Welles.
I'll do my 8 minutes, and I'll take my 5 million for doing 8 minutes. For doing 8 minutes work, and I'll bugger off for that and have another burger somewhere.
Yeah, and how to ruin a budget for a film because you have to pay for him. Yeah, we can't pay it. Anyhow, I think this is adapted from a novel, play, and what have you. And to be honest, it's just a bit dull. It's just rather a dull film.
If I remember rightly, when I was watching it, I thought the colours were quite rich. It's colour, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
it is. Yeah,
the colours are quite rich. Yeah. But I remember I had to read Moby Dick at school.
Yes.
I think I remember coming back going, well, there was more action in the book.
Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. Because I think he's miscast. It's just totally not a good performance by Gregory Peck. It's really.
He plays Ahab. Does he play Ahab? Does he?
Yeah, he plays the one with the leg.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch again going back to Star Trek, when you hear Picard turning around and saying because they reference Ahab in the the Star Trek film.
Yeah.
I think that's more poignant than probably his performance. Probably that film. But
it's just very disappointing because he is a good actor, is Gregory Peck.
I've seen a number of adaptations of Moby Dick, and Orca's not that bad.
Oh right, yeah.
But that isn't the best Moby Dick film.
No, it's not.
I think I saw a BBC dramatization in the 70s that was pretty good.
I watched this as well. I came back to it again. I just fancied watching it, and this is a remake of The Last House on the Left.
Oh God! Okay. I've seen the original.
I've got Wes Craven did the original, but he's also involved in this film as a producer.
Is he right?
I think that helps. I think the film certainly. I think it's very enjoyable. It is actually quite disturbing. It's quite gory.
All right.
I I mean, the 1970s version is a very 70s horror. It's got a dirty, murky feel to it because I think it was his first film, actually, his first proper full-length film in 1972. And then this is the remake, and this one looks completely different, obviously. But to be fair, it's pretty good, and I like the ending better on this one. The ending on the original kind of suggests it, but this shows exactly what happens. You know, you see the significance of the girl swimming. Without giving too many spoilers away, she's an actually proper swimmer, and that is important in this story at the ending. But this is good. I really enjoyed it. It's quite gory though, and it keeps you going. Definitely horrible characters. You love it when they turn and get their revenge back at them. You can't help but love it for that. So that's one. And then a film.
But I'm a fan of the original, so you've got my attention on that.
Yeah.
One, so.
Oh, it is. It's a great film, Wes Craven. But it was good that he was involved in this one as well. So that's good.
To steer the ship a little. Yeah.
Now this is my Tony York section again.
Bloody hell!
He sent me this one. Street Corner, and honestly, I absolutely love this. This is from 1953. It is, and it's written and directed by a lady I've not heard of before as a director, Muriel Box. And what it is, it's almost semi-documentary feel to it.
Do you know what I thought you were going to say then? It's the life of Tony York with fishnet stockings on and a bat. Standing at the corner of the street saying, come and get it, lads. Or something.
Well, for its time, this was considered quite... how shall I put it? See police women in skirts, you know, what's going on? There's a policeman here who don't like it. Here, we're not having that. We're not having that. There should be a police force. What's happening? But of course, this is after war. Women are in employment in the wartime, and they want to stay there. They don't want to go back to how it was before. And so this is a really good look at women after the war and how they are overcoming and showing the jobs of what police women do. And here you see police women catching criminals, but they're also like social workers, so they're dealing like with
The women's role in the 50s in the police force was different to now. Now it's sort of like equal.
Yeah.
Back then they were sort of like they would patrol with men, and they would be the sort of person that would be, I don't know, taking down notes or just caring for people that were on the floor that had been injured or something.
There was no getting involved, you know, having a go and restraining people in the same way. But this film is trying to, I think, show that they were capable of doing just as good
far
job.
more, yeah.
And I really liked it. I thought, also, when you see a film like this, 1953, you can't help but look at the locations they're using, and you're thinking, crikey, this was only 8 years after war. And
that's right, 7-8 years.
This country is still being rebuilt, you know, and the social problems still there's a lot of poverty there. Obviously, I
mean, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Just going sideways on this at the moment.
Yeah.
We didn't start building our motorway system until we got ourselves to a point where the buildings were just about done. That's why the motorways were a end of 50s, early 60s thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we were still repairing things.
Yeah, we forget,
you know, all the way through to the end of the 50s.
We forget that, but you remember, I mean, what the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe, did to our country. They bombed us everywhere, didn't they?
But we sent our people over there to outbuild.
No, we did at the second part of the Second World War. We got our own back, like at Dresden and places like that, which we absolutely obliterated as a revenge. In many ways, people say, for the Blitz and for Liverpool and all the places that got heavily bombed. I think this is really good because you can't be looking back at how life was and seeing it and here you see it all. There's no social workers, so as I say, the police are having to do that kind of
Yeah, they're
job.
doing that task. Yeah.
And I thought it was great. I love films like this. And the actress in it was Peggy Cummins, and she was in a film that I really liked, which is from 1957, which is Hell Drivers, which starred the great Stanley Baker.
Yeah, you talked about Hell
in
Drivers. You talked about Hell Drivers before.
Yeah, I know it's a great film, and she was in that, but she didn't do much more into 1960s. Often they retire. They just, that's what happens in acting. It did, but yeah. So that I would say was my film of the week for me in terms of how good it was, how much I really
Good
enjoyed it.
choice. Good choice.
Yeah, and that's it. That's mine.
It sounds like a mini dog. It sounds like a mini version of How We Used to Live when we watched it as a kid.
I love those kind of things.
Remember that they used to wheel in the TV, and they go, right, you're going to be watching the watching all the stuff for learning during the morning on the 7th. And it was always Picture Box or How We Used to Live.
Actually, I remember at school it was like that. It was like treat. We had to watch these special programs and then wheel out the big telly, and we'd all be thinking, "Oh, great, we're skipping lessons, to watch."
I'll tell you what, the more I think about that, the more I think about that period, the more I remember that Open University used to be on BBC Two, and they used to have this young, fat, almost like a young man in his 90s. With curly hair, talking about sine waves and how Pythagoras' theorem was going to talk about how time and space is calculated and all this. And I used to think to myself, who in their right minds watches this? I do not understand a word he's talking about, right? It's blowing my mind. It's making me. He's got a blackboard with a chalk and he's doing this and all that stuff, right? And it always said it's part of the university curriculum. But I've known so many people that went to university and they said it's nothing like that. What the bloody hell was he talking about then? Because it was so dry. It was so dry and awful.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it would put people off studying, wouldn't it? You're thinking, God, I must go to university proper, and not with that rubbish. Anyhow, that's they don't have that anymore, do they? I don't think they do.
I must admit, it's got to nearly 8:35, Ian. So I'm going to have to sort of like just do the check now. But I will be back, people, just to piss everybody off.
Yeah,
because I know really this is the Ian stream, and I just tag along.
It's really. Yeah. I'm pretty open.
Everything in the text is Ian, and sod him.
Yeah, and here I'm getting into trouble, Sandra.
There's nothing that says, I watched that as well, Del. All of that, none of that never comes into it.
Hey, both. About last night, Ian,
I'll be back in a bit
next time and tell us there's no stream. Some of us were here an hour until we were told it's okay if it's cancelled, but you need to tell us. I am so sorry. Yeah, I put a message up and it happened pretty near the time that we were due to go on. It's my fault totally. I am so sorry, but I will, if that happens again, that he has to cancel early, I will definitely put something in the stream. I'm sorry. I did put a message up, but it was my fault totally. You see, you never know what's going to happen in these situations with Del, having to look after his mother, and these things happen, I'm afraid. So I say it was only a few minutes really before it was due to start, but there we are. So I am sorry, Sandra. It won't happen again. Honest, Gov. Honest. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? Right. And then Tony says, evening, Ian and Dale. Hope things are as good as possible. Yeah, things are okay for me, reasonably. I had I must admit, just after weekend before the nurse came, my um, left leg was and foot were, God, they were really bad. They were just driving me mad, and obviously they needed the bandages changing. So, fortunately, on Tuesday they came and sorted them out, and yeah, oh my God, it was such a relief. It was driving me mad, the pain. It's like somebody torturing me. But anyhow, that's gone. And it's amazing how when you're in pain, all you can think about is the pain. But once it's gone, it's like fantastic. And then I know it'll come back again by weekend. But yeah, it's great. It's a great, like today, it's been fine. I've been great. So anyhow, that's me rambling on there. And then we've got Sandra saying, "Hi, Tony York," and then Tony says, "Hi, Sandra. I left a notification about 8:20 RE. Seeing the post in Ian's community post section. Yeah, again, thank you, Tony, for doing that. As I say, it's totally my fault, and I've learned from this that I will put in the actual link going to the chat." She says here, Sandra, in chat, I must have say, no, there wasn't anything there. You were right. Yeah. Slap on wrists. Totally wrong. Yeah. But I will do it next time. Yeah. It never even crossed my mind. So I put the notice up, but it's rather stupid of me. Anyhow, so Tony says, it's the Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee film Del. 88 released it last year. Think it was Planet Productions. They only did a handful of productions. Yeah, it's one of the films that you sent me, actually, Tony. I'm trying to find it over there. I think this is it. I'm sure it is. Is it this one? Island of Terror. It could be that one. Yeah, because this is all sci-fi. It's got a very funny monster in it. Yeah, it's quite good. Quite good, that one. Yeah. Yeah. So you said they only did a handful of productions. Yeah, I think it's enjoyable. Yeah, I can see why Delboy was intrigued by it. Definitely. And then Tony says, yes, Sandra, in the chat, I thought perhaps something wasn't right. So I had a look at Ian's community post. Thanks, Tony. You've saved my life again. But yes, I will do that. Yeah. And then Sai says, evening, gang. Hello, Sai. Welcome. I'm sorry Delboy's gone off again. But, his situation with his mum. He'll be back. I think his sister will be here now and they're sorting it all out. Yeah. Let's have a look. And then we've got Delboy, is your mum okay? I think today things have been better after what happened yesterday. I was chatting to him before this, so yesterday was a bad thing, but I think she's much more settled, I think, today. Anyhow, they're both his sisters there as well now. But yeah, yesterday was a crisis. Tony says, Planet produced Island of Terror as well, also with Peter Cushing. Oh, so it is a different one, is it? Yeah. Yes, yeah. Tony says hi, Sai, and then we've got Rock Bunny saying good evening, gents, and everyone in the chat. Welcome, thank you for joining us. And then we got Sai saying, hey, Tony Hawk and Sandra, and then we've got Tony Hawk saying Rocket, evening, Rocket. And Sandra saying hello, Simon, Rock Bunny, And then Sandra, can I moan? You can, but I think what I'll try and save this. Remember to when he comes back. Anyhow, I'll read it out. But this is for Dell, isn't it? Can I moan? Nintendo have had my Switch 2 for 5 weeks already, and they're now telling me mid-December for the return. I'm very, very angry about it. I don't blame you. Blooming heck. It have already had it 5 weeks, and mid-December. That's a hell of a long time. I'm not surprised you're angry about it. That's just so wrong. What can I say? That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, that amount of time. I'll see when Delboy comes back to show him that. I'll try and remember. I'll try, but I'm going to see now. But I'll try and remember. Tony says, just seen Studio Canal are releasing the new Avengers. Yeah, I saw that. The 70s series on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. Oh, crikey. I have a 20-year-old DVD set with like to no extras. I'm tempted by the Blu-ray, but it's quite expensive though. So the DVD is 50 quid. The Blu-ray 100 quid, and the 4K 150 quid. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Though I don't know how many episodes. I would imagine there's quite a few episodes. The New Avengers is an interesting series, isn't it? Because the way they split the recording of it. I think did they go to Canada to do some recording of it, and then they came back here and was doing it. It's quite an interesting history, I think, behind it, what they did. And I think it's quite fondly remembered. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I always enjoyed it at the time. It was quite a big thing on the TV. It was really good, because everybody, I think, missed the Avengers. You've got here continue for DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. I think everybody missed the Avengers. I mean, the Avengers are such a classic series. Grew up on it as a child, and when this came along, I think it was quite exciting, and I think it did well because of that, and it was good. It wasn't it Gareth Hunt and of course Joanne Lumley, and I suppose that's how she made her name as a figure that became well known. I think she had appeared in some films before that, not much, I don't think. I think she was a Bond girl, though you hardly ever see her. I think she's in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think she is at Lazenby film. I may be wrong on that, but I think she may well have been, and that perhaps did in the end lead her to that role. But she certainly made it her own, definitely. And I've got quite fond memories of the New Avengers. I used to enjoy it, definitely. Really, it's one of those things that if you miss the Avengers, the original, which did, it was like good. It was good to see it. Really enjoyed it. And of course, there was I think there was a quirkiness in some episodes as well. Definitely a quirkiness, I think. I did enjoy that quite a bit. Imagine the Avengers always had that element, isn't it? The original Avengers. I think that's what made it so great. It wasn't just a straight show always. It could get very out there. Yeah. Do you remember the Cybernauts? They appeared in the New Avengers as well. I've got some network release with all the Cybernaut episodes on. and they got it from the original series, and then they've got it in the new Avengers as well. Yeah, they're quite good. And Peter Cushing, yes, Peter Cushing, of course, he's in the Cybernauts stories, isn't he? Yeah, there's a link. Peter Cushing again, fantastic. Yeah, Peter Cushing, he's in it, brilliant actor. Nobody, I don't think, can match him. I know Christopher Lee. Yeah, Cushing and Lee, what a great duo of brilliant actors. Peter Cushing was absolutely amazing. Appeared in so many things. Absolutely. Sai said, I went to see one battle after another. Cinematography and score, brilliant. Oh, that's interesting. Sean Penn, amazing. Everyone involved turned up for the art and not the paycheck, if you get what I mean. Film of the year. Wow. Is it better than Weapons then? You rated that highly. Wow. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing that. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds exciting to me. I know there's going to be films like this. I definitely look forward to watching that one. Definitely. Because it's good to get good new films, isn't it? You know, because there's so many that are not. That's great. Fantastic. Really glad. Turns out they must have an extremely long waiting list of repairs, Sandra. Sandra says, yes, I suppose. But it does seem excessive. It does really seem. Tony says, you should be due compensation for not being able to use it for several months. Yeah. And Sandra says, I wish. Yes. I suspect they wouldn't do anything like that. And Tony says, cheers for the shout out, Del. I know he does that rant every week, every predictable week, doesn't he? You can see it coming, you know, is Tony York rant. It's, what can you say, you know? As I'm saying note. Yeah. I've honestly just started to hum the gallery tune from Tony out. This is what you said, yeah, when he started his Watchers of the Week. Thank you. Thank you so much. Will Ian be showing us more from Tony Art? Well, actually, I wonder if that has been released. You never know. I've not rewatched Moby Dick yet, Ian, on Blu-ray. Years since I watched that DVD. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I was just so disappointed with it, really. But then when I read more into it about it, I think it's quite a difficult film to adapt from what it's based on and what have you. I mean, for a chase film, because that's what it effectively is, isn't it? You know, you're chasing after this giant whale. It just seems very lackluster, you know, not very. And I do say, I do love Gregory Peck. What a great actor he is. But in there, just didn't get him at all. Richard Basehart, he was the best in it for me. I really like him. He's appeared in quite a few films, and of course, he becomes famous in Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. And then Sandra says, my best buy of the week is still a sealed 10-disc Hanna-Barbera box set, £2 from a charity shop on Wednesday. Wow. I mean, what can you say? 10 discs, Hanna-Barbera. Wow. I mean, brilliant. Proper. I could go on my thing about proper animation. I love 2D animation like that. Some brilliant, absolutely wonderful. I know I sound like an old bugger, but they don't make cartoons like that anymore. They don't make films, animated films. You know, they're awful. Those Disney ones now that they do, they're just awful. The 3-dimensional things. I want proper drawings. You know, people doing. I don't want all that awful stuff, but people enjoy it. I suppose there's a certain generation who love that kind of animation. For me, it's got no heart. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. In fact, I haven't got any in my collection. Disney stopped after, for me, probably the last animated film, which is in 2D, which I can't think what it is. I still like the classics, all the classic Disney films. Great animated, like right out to Robin Hood, I think. Absolutely love them. But this animation, wow, Pixar stuff, isn't it? I mean, I do like Toy Story. Toy Story. I say that, and I have got Toy Story because Toy Story is good. That was the first, I suppose, in that kind, and that I don't mind that. I don't mind it, but that's it. No more. I just don't get on with the rest of it. It was okay for Toy Story, but no, definitely not for me. Not sure if you know that Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick, is an ancestor of the musician Moby. Hence his stage name, Moby. Really? Wow. Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've heard of Moby. I haven't got any of his music. I bet Delboy has, but that's probably right up his street. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's why he's got his stage name. Wow, that's one of those did you know kind of things. Yeah, definitely. Um, then we've got Ian. I think I sent The World in His Arms 1952 with Gregory Peck. It's another seafaring tale set around Alaska when still owned by the Russians. You may enjoy that more. I find it entertaining. I'll have a look at that because I've managed now all those that you sent to me. I've all got now. I've put them all in cases because I'm like that. But I'll try and look up that one, The World in His Arms. Hopefully I should find it because it all matched up. It took me ages going through, but I put them all in, put all the because that's how I like to have them rather than in the plastic things. So I should look up that The World in His Arms. It does ring a bell actually when I was going through them. So perhaps I should try and look up that one. I think it'll be over there somewhere, but I won't go over there and check it out. The World in His Arms. I'll try to remember. Actually, what I'll do is just write that down so that I'll be able to check that out because I'll forget. That's why I write everything down. I'm always writing lists. The World in His Arms. That's it. Yep. Right. I will look at that. The title is definitely, I do remember because I'm going through them. So I've only recently started to do it because it made it easier to find things, he says. Si says, I honestly think that the assault scene in the remake of Last House on the Left is so much brutal than the original. I think you're right, actually. And the original is pretty awful, but you're right. It is awful. It is brutal, and that's why you kind of, for me, a good revenge thriller. You really want that justice to happen, and you get it. And I think they do it in the remake better. It looks actually better the way they do it. it's definitely satisfying. But I still enjoy the Wes Craven one. I still enjoy that. But it's a very good remake. It really is. And then Tony says, used to love watching those cartoons on TV, Sandra. Oh yes, I can. They were something you were brought up with, watching all those. I mean, the first cartoons I still love is, of course, Top Cat. Top Cat was just. I mentioned it other weeks, but I just love Top Cat. And as a child, seeing them on TV in '60s, it was absolutely fantastic. I always loved Top Cat. And then Tony says, "My secret's out, thanks to Del." Aha. And then Tony says, "Yeah, great period piece about 50s London, Ian. Did you spot Alf Garnett's wife, Dandy Nichols, in a supporting role?" I'm trying to think. I don't think I did. You know, that's a good thing. No, I think I may have. I'm trying to think now. No, I don't think I did. I should have done. Yeah, I mean, she's quite there. I should have. Yeah, I should have done, but I didn't. No. But honestly, I was so impressed with the film. Absolutely, it's just right up my street. That kind of film. Absolutely loved it. And then Tony says, "I used to watch Open University sometimes. Didn't understand a word. Just pretended to. Yes, that's what it was. It was so not like a university. That's why it was open that you wanted to close it. The blooming university. It just was so weird."
Tony, hang on, Tony. I didn't understand a word. Yeah, because English isn't your first language, you daft bastard. That's why you didn't understand a word of it. That's what it is. Nothing to do with the science behind everything and the bloody maths. It was you didn't understand good morning. You're about 14.
Anyway,
oh
dear.
Enough of that. What have I missed? Any questions for me?
Yeah, I'm just going back to Sandra.
Sandra's got one for me. I like Sandra.
No, it's something that you might understand more about. She says, Sandra says, "Can I moan? Nintendo have had my Switch 2 for 5 weeks already, and they are now telling me mid-December for the return. I am very, very angry about it."
Well, yeah, and quite rightly also, because there's no shortage of Switch 2s anywhere. I turned round to her at the very beginning and I said, it's ridiculous, to be quite honest, because it should have been a swap out as far as I'm concerned. As soon as they receive it, they send you another one out, because I don't think I'd want my original one back with a screen replacement, because I think she said it was a screen issue, if I remember rightly, from that many weeks back. Bloody awful. Nintendo, typical, I think, really. I've heard of other people that have sent stuff to Nintendo and it just goes into a bloody big hole, right? And you just don't understand it. You know, sometimes I think it's a pity about the fact that we used to be able to go into a game store and buy a console. There used to be people lined up outside at 5 a.m. to pick up the new PS3 or whatever it is, right? And they would have, in their heyday, they would have had stacks of this Switch 2, pre-orders that you can pick up, other people that were hoping they were going to get one before the queue. Unfortunately, they were at the end of the queue and they didn't know, and all of that sort of stuff. And now we just do everything through bloody Nintendo or Amazon, Amazon or whatever. And, depending on who you're buying it from, and it's probably Nintendo themselves, that's why it's taking so bloody long. You're hanging about. I feel your pain, Sandra. At the moment, at least it's happened early on and there isn't that much content, right? I'm still playing that Kong Banana, whatever it is, on and off. But I tell you what, there's more going on in the store than there is. There is a few things coming out, Kirby and Metroid and all of that sort of stuff. But depending on what your poison is when it comes to games, it's a lackluster list. I don't see anything there that makes me go, I've got to go out and buy the console. Everybody, sold. I think I know a lot of people that got rid of their Switch 1 for a Switch 2. And for those people, they've still got their Switch 1 games to go on, thank God. It's almost like the early days when the consoles came out, where there was launch titles and then you waited and waited and waited, and it was a year before anything really, really exploited the power of the bloody machine. You know what I mean? So I feel for you. I wish I knew more about what you like so that I could recommend something on Steam. Steam, by the way, has got a sale on, Sandra. Don't know if you know, it's on till October 6th. Look at the YouTube videos that say 90% off is the best thing I could say. There's a guy called Cold Beer, and he does, well, while the sale's on, he'll put all games at 90% off, all games under $3, or $3, which will be £3 for us, all games under $5, and all games under $7, etc., etc. And if you want to build your collection up and you don't want to go to Fanatical or Humble Bumble, now's the time to get those. I still think Good Old Games is a great place to go if you don't want to think that your game will be lost in a year's time, because Steam are just like a streaming service. They'll get rid of a game, and as long as it's in your library, you're all right. But if it's not, tough shit. And Good Old Games allows you to download it. So, the Steam sale's on. Blow your socks off. There'll be a ton of stuff there. Ton of stuff. Good stuff as well. Right. Anything else I missed?
Let's say I'll just carry on this bit. And then Tony says, I used to watch Open University sometimes. Yeah. Didn't understand a word. I just pretended to. Yeah. And Sandra says, Open University, I watched a couple but didn't understand. But those Royal Institute Christmas lectures, I always enjoy. Oh, yeah, they do have somebody, don't they, who does a special lecture.
Yeah, they used to have. I mean, there was obviously prominent scientists that we've now come to. I think Magnus Pike, was on Open University once.
Yeah.
It wasn't all maths and science and all of that. Yeah. There was stuff that was, aimed at people that, understood the English language and you could understand what they're talking about. But I must admit, it was mostly science, wasn't it? It was all physics and maths.
Yeah.
There was some English. There was some English literature. There was some old fart doing English who tried to do a Jack and Nori impression, doing this. Trying to explain about books, but of course they weren't Enid Blight. They were like Wuthering Heights or something.
Yeah,
Mice and Men or something, right?
Oh,
which was fine, but it was so
Moby Dick.
It was so dry. I was going, I could fall asleep listening to this guy. And it always seemed to be like the colours were so muted, it could have been black and white.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That black and white board was the same colour as the suit the person was wearing.
Yeah.
There was always some young guy that had no tie on, but he had a shirt and jacket on. It was almost like we won't let you on the BBC unless you unless you hippies start putting some bloody proper clothes on.
Yeah.
Right. So they had springy hair that was out here like Zebedee, and yet they had a sports jacket or something with the patches on like that, and the elbows.
Yeah.
With a shirt.
Then the elbows. They always have things on elbows.
And if they stood up, you'd find they had jeans on or something, and some Doc Martin boots or something.
You know what I mean? Those things around the elbows.
There's patches on the elbows because they always used to fray, didn't they? Back in the day, that was the stuff for fray. But it was always for the gentry. We used to think, didn't it? It's the sort of thing you'd wear if you went clay pigeon shooting or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? that sort of thing.
Oh dear.
But yeah, it was always tweed. Always
Yeah.
tweed as well, wasn't it? Woolen jacket, which you'd think under them studio lights. No wonder he's sweating. Jesus Christ. It's the middle of summer and he's got more clothes on than you'd have at winter with your heating gone.
Tony says, yes, I've got the 88 films Blu-rays in of Island of Terror and Night of the Big Heat. That's it. Good early British sci-fi.
I like that Night of the Big Heat. I have to say, I haven't seen it in years, and it was just nice to catch up and see that one. And I just so thought, my God, this is Quatermass in another. But it's got Christopher. I mean, it's got Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in it. What's not to like?
Exactly. Yeah.
Jesus, that's it. I'm watching it.
Yeah,
like that.
So 88 films have obviously done their new versions of them, updated them.
A not too well mentioned label, really. 88 films. I think they've got a lot of good stuff. They do things like what's that one? Runaways. You know, Tom Selleck's sci-fi one, and they do all that sort of stuff. And there's a number of good ones in there.
And they're not as expensive, are they? As
no. But you know, everybody mentions Arrow and Screen Factory and all of this sort of stuff, and but there's some absolute crackers in 88 films.
And then we've got Rock Bunny saying, I had a Switch one very early on. I have about 10 to 15 games for it. Zelda, what does BOTW stand for?
Breath of the Wild.
There you are. Is the only game I've ever played for more than a few hours. All right. Okay.
It's an open. By the way, just to give some context to that, it's an open role-playing game.
Right.
You sort of progress in a linear way, sort of, because you have to go to each tower, get to the top of the tower, and turn something on, and it opens up the rest of the world. And then you go to the next tower, and you can't see anything, and you do the same thing, and it opens up the world. So it is open world. You can go in any direction that you want to go. You can do it in any order that you want. It is considered an absolute classic. It's a Zelda. The Zelda series is just phenomenal. It's mentioned in the same breath as Mario. That everybody recognizes Mario, even if you're not a gamer.
Yeah, I've heard of Mario.
Zelda's a lot is mentioned in the same breath, basically. And there's so many Zelda games now. It's really difficult to sort of like differentiate them because they've done isometric ones, full 3D ones, they've done top-down ones, they've done side-scrolling ones. Zelda 2 was side-scrolling. That was weird. And you know, but it took off in the Nintendo 64 era with Macarina's Mask and all that this sort of stuff. Majora's Mask, or I forgot whatever it's called. And then of course you know, everything then turned ultra realistic type thing. I think Windjammers was the last one that was cell shaded. You know, they've come on to the point where the graphics are not cartoony really much anymore, unless you go for the cheaper isometric. Well, I say cheaper; they're the same bloody price with Nintendo, but they're very cutesy, small, isometric, you know, type things. More about the puzzles and the leaping than it is about the story and all that. But Breath of the Wild is a great game. I can't say it's not. I can't say it's not.
All right. Sai says the best episode of the New Avengers was Nors.
We had a thing about New Avengers, have we?
Well, you see, next one he'll talk a bit, but we did a bit earlier talk about that, didn't we? New Avengers
with Purdy and Gambit.
Because Tony says I've not heard of Nors, but I don't know that one.
But I tell you what, I mean, the thing about the New Avengers, right? I used to love it, right? I remember the Avengers at the time the New Avengers came out because it was the 70s. It was Brian, I forgot his name. Brian something wrote the stories, didn't he? And
Oh, Clemens.
Clements, that's right,
Yeah.
who did Thriller.
Yeah.
Obviously, all
Yeah.
that, right? And my sister and I used to bond a little bit over the New Avengers because she
Oh.
liked Purdy.
All
Right.
right. Yeah.
And Purdy had this proper haircut. It was like a
Yeah.
fringe, like a bob. Is it
Yeah.
called a bob? I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. And she drove around in a TR7, was it? Or was it a TR5? It was a Triumph.
Yeah.
Right. But I used to laugh because even though I didn't know what it meant, Gareth Hunt used to later on be in the coffee commercials.
That's right, he did, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So every time Gareth Hunt came on, I went, "Oh, that's that guy that does that." Right. Which later on, right? Which later on, I understood, right? Why people looked at me weird when I said that. But I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, but that's what he did because he was the coffee roasting person, right? He used to rub his hand like this and then show you some coffee beans. And I always thought when I watched these coffee commercials, who carries around coffee beans in their pockets every time somebody's having a coffee? It's like, what the hell are you doing? Is that so somebody can grind it for you when you go around their house or something? I never understood it, right? And then, of course, the Steed, isn't there? Steed was the quintessential.
Steed is brilliant.
In the New Avengers. I remember the one brilliant. That I liked, and the reason I liked it, because it was probably because of the $6 million man, was they had those robots, didn't they? Those mannequins that sort of came to life.
Yeah.
Now they got rid of these robots with something called liquid plastic.
That's
they sprayed it all over them, right? And then they sort of froze and stopped because they couldn't move anymore, right? But it's those robots that I remember the most when I think about the New Avengers. But I always remember the first one because the first one reminded me of an opening from what's that film, The Wicker Man?
Yeah.
Because there was a monastery and a bloke was running away from the monastery. And all these people with fishing hooks were trying to get him. They were trying to get him with their hooks. I think it's because they were dipped in poison or something, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then they went to the island to find out what happened to their agent. And I thought this looks like the Wicker Man because it was that fishing type village. It was almost like every time I saw it, I kept going, I'm a little fishy on a little dishy when the book comes in, right? Every time I saw them, every time I saw that episode, I don't know why. It's got nothing to do with when the boat comes in, but it's just it looked like that. So that's my memories of the New Avengers, guys.
Peter was the scientist.
Gareth Hunt.
Yeah, keep doing that.
And Steed, of course. That's it. Oh, and the music was good.
Yeah. Oh dear. Tony says 26 episodes of New Avengers on 10 discs, quite a few extras. Last 4 episodes were co-produced by and set in Canada. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. I've got the New Avengers box set.
Yeah.
I haven't got all the Avengers box sets. That was too expensive, and the Blu-rays are extortionate.
Yeah, I've just got the color Diana Rigg ones.
Yes, I've got the Diana Rigg set. So I've got they over the years they've done them as season 1, 2, this. Other times they've got this is the Diana Rigg collection. This is the what I mean, right? They did it like that. And then after they've exhausted all the different ways you could do it, the Blu-rays came out and they started doing them in the little box sets.
That's right.
And then they started doing it as seasons 1 to 6 and then 6 to whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Every time, too bloody expensive.
Yeah. I'd like to have got more of them. I've got some on DVD, but I'd love to have got more at Blu-rays. Definitely.
Yeah.
The black and white ones of Diana Rigg. My favorite New Avengers episode was Target. I don't know that one.
Do you know what? If I was to think of a New Avengers story that I really, really like, I'll tell you what one that comes to mind when they tried to doppelganger Steed, where they put this mask on. They made it so that their face turned into rubber or something. They put this mask on, and you could be anybody you want, right? And they tried to duplicate Steed. And they captured him, put him downstairs, and this guy was putting. As soon as you're injected, you have to lie on the bed with this mask on for about 4 hours. He took it off, and then all of a sudden they were Steed or something, right? And it was to try and infiltrate the World Service or something, go to Geneva or something and do something. I don't know. But I remember that one. I thought that one reminded me of an Outer Limits episode.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where there was another thing where it was almost the second episode into the Outer Limits, where it was set in Korea, and the guy, they I never forget it. He got his thumb and he pushed it, and it was like clay. It scratched his face in, and I'll always remember that. Anybody that does something to your face or something, I sort of like go, oh wow, right? But it must. I can just imagine the people there going, We're short of money this month. I'll tell you what, we'll put the main character in one room, right?
Yeah.
And then Steve can play 3 different characters because we'll all have him.
That's right. It's a good way of saving money.
We'll have long shots of the people go chasing him because they can't do it. And when it's close up, it'll be just one of them, and it'll be Steve again. And I'm going, how cheap can you get, you cheap bastard? You know. But you'll still charge me a fortune on the Blu-ray set for it. How cheap you were. But I remember that one.
Yeah. And then Tony says, I honestly don't remember much at all about individual episodes, apart from Return of the Cybernauts. So long
which is that one that I'm talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
The newer, they were called Cybernauts, weren't they?
Oh, this is interesting. Sai says Nose was the giant rat eating people.
Giant rat eating people. Do you have to be a giant to eat a rat? Because rats are small. Is it because they're giants to the rats?
Yeah, giant rats.
Or is it because they only hired 7-foot actors for it or something?
Yeah.
But knowing how cheap they were, they probably put them in platform shoes or something.
And Tony says, don't remember, a giant rat must be longer than I thought since I saw them. It is a long time, actually, probably.
Well, they should. I tell you what, on the Freeview channels, they show those along with Return of the Saint.
Oh,
with Ian Ogilvy.
Yeah, the Ian Ogilvy ones. Yeah.
I mean, even now I've got that bloody new the new Saint. I've got the music in my head now because the Saint. I remember the Saint music, but I always remember the new Saint as well because it was boppy, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's pretty boppy, and it was like 70s. It was like you know, that Fred Love Orchestra did it or something. You know what I mean? Whatever his name was, I can't remember now.
Oh God, what was
Jeff Love and his orchestra.
Jeff Love. How can we forget Jeff Love?
Yeah, he did a fantastic Blake Seven rendition.
Yeah, all them music for pleasure albums, the westerns, the war films, the TV shows. Oh,
I know there was something that I missed. I know that there was a question about Hanna-Barbera. Did you cover that?
Yes, we mentioned.
I loved Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah,
they influenced film action, you know, as a team because they reused backgrounds and animation. To keep costs down. But again, my sister would be rooting for Penelope Pitstop. You know, whenever the Wacky Racers were on or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And Penelope Pitstop even had her own show, I think.
She did,
I didn't like that one. I didn't like that one because I used to like Dastardly and Muttley.
Of course.
And I used to, and my sister used to force me to laugh like Muttley.
Oh,
right. You know, which I can't do now. Christ, kill my throat. But yeah, I used to like the you know, Catch the Pigeon and all that sort of stuff.
That's it. That's
I liked the Jetsons, but didn't really get on with the Jetsons
No.
that well because all that Meet George Jetson, Roy Mary, and all that sort of Baby Leroy or whatever it is. And Futurama was better, but later on. But there's so many. I mean, I think whenever you mention Hanna-Barbera, you've got to mention Boss Cat or Top Cat. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be that Hong Kong Phooey. Probably mentioned.
Yeah, I've got that.
Probably mentioned in the same breath.
Complete series I've got of that. I picked it up really cheap.
Because I used to go onto the chat shows and the chat things on YouTube, and I used to go, look, I've got my Hong Kong book for Kung Fu. Look here, look. And I used to open it up and talk about films. And what a fantastic thing Hong Kong Phooey was as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
A janitor, wasn't it? A dog janitor.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Love it. I still watch it.
Rosemary on the switchboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always good to dip in and watch a few episodes.
But a lot of stuff, a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff, I don't think made it over here,
No.
They did a Marvel thing, They did this boy that had a ring on. And when he touched the ring, he turned into Ben Grimm of the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
And I don't know how they got away with that, because I don't think it's a Marvel created thing, type thing. And it's really hard to get hold of that now.
Probably, but, yeah.
But Hanna-Barbera, what a shame.
Yeah,
for Hanna-Barbera. I mean. Two blokes that you've just got to have total respect for.
Yeah.
I mean, people talk about film action now better than they did, but they only really got recognition with He-Man, really, even though they did Star Trek the animated series, and they did Flash Gordon as well. Yeah. They did a Flash Gordon. What else did they do? Tarzan, I think. Lord of the Jungle. Yeah, that was good. But they really, really pioneered the reuse of animation to keep the cost down. The amount of times you'd see Tarzan's face and they'd go, like this, right? And it'd be the same bloody animation sequence every time they did it. It didn't matter whether he was in a jungle, in a house, trapped in a...
They'd still be doing it,
trapped in a bloody pyramid or something, right in the middle of the jungle. God knows how you hide a pyramid in a jungle. Christ, get that idea, right? But every time he'd swing through the trees, it'd be the same animation, right? Yeah. We didn't give a shit.
No,
right? We were watching it going, "Oh, this is great." Yeah. This 25-minute cartoon, 15 minutes of it was probably brand new, and the other bloody
it was added on. Yeah,
it was just rehashed of what you saw last week.
Yeah,
and you didn't look at the lip sync.
No. Let's see. We've got Tony going. Okay, I don't understand, Mr. Faulty. Esperanto is my language of choice.
I'm from Barcelona.
Okay.
I learned, Mr. Faulty. I learned. I know nothing. He did that a lot. Didn't he? I know nothing.
Nothing. No, and he's going. Yes. Don't.
Yeah, you can say, you can talk about that bet we put on. I know nothing.
No, the bet.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Faulty. Oh,
so many classic episodes in Faulty Towers. Why they tried to destroy Faulty Towers as being politically incorrect, I don't know. Porridge the same.
Yeah,
we loved it, and you could show it to anybody, and I don't care if there's some inflammatory language in it and all of this. It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
If something is funny, it's funny.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
No wonder Hollywood is scared to do a comedy.
Yeah,
with all this bloody political.
And the comedies they do don't tend to be funny, do they?
No, because they're bloody. They're gagged, aren't they?
Yeah.
You're
They
on
don't know how
stage
to
and
do a film.
start talking about something, and
Yeah.
you're really in the shit, aren't you? I
Yeah.
mean, thank God for YouTube, and we can swear shit
Yeah.
now.
It is a good job.
Get
Yeah.
out of the system.
Yeah. Si
No.
says, I'll be ticking a box of the old bucket list on October the 14th. I'm finally going to watch The
Oh!
Sting on the big screen. Here it is. The Tyneside Cinema are putting it on as a tribute to Robert Redford. That's great. That's a great response, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Thanks,
That
Si,
was a
for being a
great response.
bastard and telling us about how good your cinema is, you little shit.
Yeah. But I think
But
that's good the way
I know
they've
he
responded.
I know he wants me to do the Sting, and I've looked and I've got the Sting, but God knows in that bloody big lot of cases where the bloody box is for it, so I could do the unboxing. How am I supposed to? It'd take me 4 hours to go through it trying to find it, and they're supposed to only take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to do that for you, Si? I've got to find the bloody.
As he says here, I don't know how many times that I've mentioned that The Sting is my favorite film. To say that I'm excited is an understatement. There you are.
Yeah, I like the follow-up, the ointment. Right? Yeah, I think they shortened it to TCP. I think was the short abbreviation for the follow-up.
Yeah.
Because if you get stung, you got to have some ointment.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an old joke. I got to come up with some new ones.
And then we've got Stephen Taylor. Good evening, Ian, Dell, and chat. Have you heard the sad news that Mickey Pierce,
yes, I have.
Golden Fools, and has just died? Yeah, I saw that as well.
It was on the news. It was on the news tonight, so I saw that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was very sad because I thought to myself, "Oh no, they're gonna." When they said it was an Only Fools and Horses actor, I was thinking, "Oh God, here we go, David J. Has got Nicholas."
Oh no.
But it came up with Mickey Pierce, and yet he was so young.
Yeah,
you know, looking. I mean, you watched that program. He had a trilby hat on and all that, and he looked like a spiv.
Yeah,
you know, even in the 80s, he looked like a 50s spiv or whatever it was, and he was always going around with Rodney, wasn't he, to pick up birds or get run up on him. He had a bet, didn't he, that that Delboy thought it was a 50 quid bet, and it was 50 pence, wasn't it? he must have spent £100 trying to win this bet for 50p.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. Yeah. There you go. That's where Delboy comes from, though. You see.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Delboy was always the one that won, and yet that episode he lost big time.
50.
Yeah. 50. You got a 50, because he had to get a date, didn't he? And she had to be she had to be in movies, and they hired a date for him, and it was a stripper with a snake or something, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, the snake. Yeah.
When he took her to this do that was going on at the Nag's Head, she started to take all her clothes off, and the snake sort of like ended up somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be thinking of
and then here we are. Just one time less than I've mentioned. Zulu is mine site. Yes, we know Zulu.
We mentioned Zulu. We still keep turning around and saying that not many people have seen Zulu Dawn.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know it's not as good, but it doesn't get much recognition. And some people don't even know that there's a sequel out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Equally great cast, not equally great, but a great cast. You know, big name.
It's not a bad film. It's not a bad film at all.
I tell you what, you want to buy Zulu on Blu-ray, doesn't cost you much. You want to buy Zulu Dawn, bloody fortune.
Yeah. Strange,
compared, you know, you can pick up Zulu in sales for like £4 or something. Right. Zulu Dawn, 15 quid.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bloody big difference between the two. And you're going, why? Zulu's better. Why that? This is a topsy-turvy world I live in.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
It is a topsy-turvy world. Did you know that our Australian cousins, when they watch this stream, right, they think they see you with hair on top of your head because they're upside down.
Yes. Yeah. Great joke there. Great joke. Yeah. Si's laughing, but not at your joke.
Yeah, not that.
And then Tony says, "Evening, Stephen. Just saw that news this evening. It was a sad story regarding things that had happened to him in his life. I didn't know about that, but I didn't go into
Well,
that.
it was typecast in the late 80s.
So he didn't get.
But he had a lot. He had a lot going on in his life. Is what they're trying to say.
Yeah. Tony says 88 released some little known titles. I'm hoping to get Man Called Noon. They've just released a rare British Euro Western from 1973. Well, that's good that they're doing that, isn't it? That's great. And then Tony says TR7 Del.
Yeah, because I said, was it a TR7 or a TR5? It was a TR7, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
My sister wanted that car for years. I look at it as a hairdresser's car. Bit like an MX5. You know what I mean?
No idea what you're talking about.
People who drove around in MX5s used to be called hairdressers. Or an Audi TT. Yeah. They were hairdressers' cars. Yeah. And I still love the look of it. It was a really sleek front with a sort of like back and cut off at the back.
Tony says one of the reasons I enjoy it is seeing all the 70s cars.
Isn't it? Because every car flipping out since the Sierra come out, every car's the bloody same.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, just before I came on, Richard Hammond, is that his name? Richard Hammond, yeah. He was reviewing the new Capri. Right? And do you know what it looks like? It looks like every other flipping people wagon car that you've ever seen. The Capri's a sleek, front-looking car with and when you drive around in it, you think of sports cars going into cardboard boxes and going down alleys. It's sort of like Starsky and Hutch sort of like thing. This thing's an SUV thing. It's just a thing that you'd cart your bloody kids around in to get them to school, like you see everywhere. Only they've got a Ford badge at the front, and at the back it says Capri. I'm going, what the hell? It's awful. I mean, if you're going to put the Capri name on it, give a homage to the Capri.
Yeah.
One thing about it that looks like a Capri, it looks like a flipping battle tank. He had a Capri next to it, right? A brown one with a black stripe on the bonnet, right? Which, because they had them shitty colours in the 70s, you get brown and black, But like the princesses, do you remember the princess? Bloody hell. But this Capri, honestly, it looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger flipping designed it. Great big, like 50-inch wheels.
Yeah.
You could stick a gun out the side and start firing at people and that sort of thing, because it's a tank. You know what I mean? It looked like
that. Si says, I always wanted a TR7.
Yeah, I did as a kid.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, in our school ground, everyone wanted an Escort Mark II. Right. And I was watching, and I went, but look at that TR7 though. But everybody still thought of that as a feminine car. But I like the look of it. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, for years and years and years, I wanted a car with pop-up headlights.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was lovely how the lights go.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I want that car. Didn't matter what it was, pop-up headlight. I wanted pop-up headlights. Right? And I had one. I had a Honda Accord Aero deck. That had pop-up headlights. And then if the lights go, if they don't pop up, you're in the shit. So you need to be careful with pop-up headlights.
Oh, yeah.
You would be. And you can't drive at night because, only one will come up and the other one.
You're in trouble. Yeah.
Because it's not like having the windscreen wiper, one blade not working. I mean, we're talking you get pulled over. You know what I mean? So you had to get fixed that day, otherwise you were in the shit. It's like having a brake light go. They were on that.
Yeah. Tony says, nearest I got to it was another Triumph, a Dolomite, 1850, my first car. All right.
My first car, believe it or not, was a Maxi.
Oh.
1750.
Not a mini skirt, a maxi skirt.
Maxi 1750 HL.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still know.
Everybody,
when I had that car, everybody laughed at me because you know, I mean, they used to say 1750 was that the year it was made.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then they said all you got to do is if you took the top off that car, it'd be a Grundon. That was nasty, wasn't it? I mean, it's my first car. Don't be evil to me. It cost me 300 quid.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It was bloody expensive for me back then, 300 quid. Of course, the insurance was more than 300 quid because it was my first car.
Yeah. Oh, it would be.
I had a car with an engine bigger than a 1.3.
Yeah.
Even though it's 0 to 60 in calendar dates.
Yeah.
They still looked at it as being an 1800 engine.
Yeah.
And my first car, so they basically, the insurance was like 500 quid or something. The car was 300.
Yeah.
Christ. I wanted to smash into other cars just to get the money back. You know what I mean? Because it was a tank. I mean, it was a tank.
Yeah.
That thing. If I was, I mean, take it like this. I'm a bright heavy. I'm not heavy at the moment. I'm losing a lot of weight. But if I got in that car, it would be turning. If you put that car and me on the scales, you'd turn around and say, "What is this? A bloody? Is it Harrier jump jet? Oh, friggin' heck! What is it, like 4.5 tons or something?" You know, I'd have to look at it. I'd have to observe every weight as I was going along the English countryside. So, oh no, can't go down here. Look, because I exceed the weight limit.
Yeah.
That's for trucks, you stupid sod. Not cars. Anyway.
Is Stephen Taylor. Hello there, Stephen. I was wondering, do you ever sell or exchange any of your collection, maybe to make space, or you won't ever watch them again?
That's easy for me, but carry on.
For me, my collection, I've got plenty of room, but I'm very particular about it. If I don't like something, I won't just put it in there. I get rid of it. No problem. No, obviously, to say that is, there possibly might be one. If it's like in a collection of films, like for instance, James Bond. If there's one James Bond film I don't like as much, that's probably the only one I've still got it in the collection. But anything else, if I don't like the film, it doesn't go in. And I'm very much making sure that my collection is. I watch everything in my collection. I don't think I've got any watch list at all on my collection of Blu-rays. Well, on the other hand, I have got some DVDs which I haven't watched, which I'm getting through, which I've been sorting out. The ones that Tony sent me, the Tony York collection, which I'm getting through those. But all the Blu-rays that I've bought, I'm up to date, I would say, on that. And I wish they'd do the thinner Blu-ray cases more. You can get some that are thinner, because that means you're going to get more into your shelf. I have got room, but it's just I've got to I'd have to buy another bookcase, which I will have to in the end. But I'm conscious of it. But I'd say if you, I mean, what is the point of having films really that you don't like? You know,
shut your face.
I know you buy them. God, you buy anything and put it in your blooming collection.
Yeah, that's shameful talking to me.
I mean, look, somebody
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mistakenly bought Snow White, you know, the live action.
You know full well that went back.
You got rid of it.
That went back.
Blooming heck. who would have that? But I bet I could go into your collection and find things that you don't like, which are there. But James Bond is the only one I can think of, which I've got ones that I don't like as much. No, even the ones that I don't like as much, I can usually find something in. Apart from the Daniel Craig, I'm not as keen on Daniel Craig, but I have got the Daniel Craig ones, and some of his are awful.
Are you telling me you haven't got 2001 in your collection? Is that what you're trying to say?
God, what's the point? No point at all. No point, lad. I wouldn't have that in my collection. Blooming heck.
I'm gonna send you a copy of Tron just to piss you off. Just to piss you off.
You sent me a download of Tron, and
I know. And now I know you. Now I know you don't like it. I'm going to send you the proper physical release of it.
No, please don't, because I'll have to keep it because you sent it. That's
and I'm going to send it as a double bill with 2001.
Yeah, 2001. Oh dear. I still think one day it might click 2001. I might suddenly think, well, actually, it's watchable, but I haven't got that far yet because I never get to end at film. I never get to end, I don't know why, because everybody loves it. Most people. There are a few like me, but most people think it's.
Anyway, my take on this is, I have in the past the odd film I've took into a charity shop. I've never exchanged in sex,
right? Yeah.
Right. But most of the time, I try to speak to my friends and say, look, I've got a whole collection of Columbo. Do you want them? Because I've got the Blu-ray, and send them off to people that I think would appreciate them. I might contact Jim Jam. I might contact Denny. I might contact, all sorts of people, because they might appreciate them. You know full well Denny and I are always interchanging with ourselves. He sent you some stuff. He sent you a big collection of stuff that he was chucking out. He sent me the whole Mission Impossible, DVD box sets, because he'd just got them on Blu-ray. It's the nicest, generous thing anybody can do for you.
It is.
Unless your name's Tony York, where you're just doing it for attention, you cheap bastard. But saying that, I do understand, you've got to know the person and know their address, and they've got to be acceptance of it and all of this. It can come across like you're trying to buy friends. I've been trapped in that.
Oh, don't take any notice.
That's the furthest from my mind.
Yeah,
I've always done it to people that I've appreciated.
Yeah,
at the time. And it's one of those things where it really hurts you a little bit when those friends aren't around anymore. But it doesn't matter to me, because if I'm getting rid of something, there's a reason, and it's usually because I've got a newer version of it. Sometimes people look at I don't want a DVD because I want my collection to be a full 4K or steel book. I always turn around and say, but just think about it. I'm sending it to you. It's so that you can watch it, and if you like it, you can get the Blu-ray of it. It's a training video, so look at it from a training point of view, right? So to be quite honest, look at it, and if you really like it, just think how good the quality will be in 4K. Get rid of it, and then take it to a charity shop or something.
I love DVDs. I make no bones about it. I do love DVDs. I won't get rid of any of my DVDs. I absolutely love them. I do.
And it's a lot like anything where I think CDs are making a comeback at the moment.
Yeah, they've never gone away for me. I love CDs. They're always love CDs. But a lot of people dismiss DVDs, don't they? But they do. If you're interested in a film and you want to watch the film and you're on a budget, then why not? DVDs are good quality. Compare it with VHS, and we're talking
most modern players now can even upscale a DVD to not to be that waxy blurry mess that early upscaling
No, early ones
DVD
are not
players,
as
right?
good, but there's
You
not as
put them in a
many.
more modern one, and it actually
Yeah,
doesn't look that bad.
they look all right. Some
It'll
of
never
them,
be perfect.
yeah.
Don't
But
get me wrong.
a new, I'll tell you something. Some of the new films, sometimes they really are excellent quality.
Yeah.
Really new films. Um, yeah, and it's the same. I always say with Blu-ray. I make the choice. Sometimes I'll say, yeah, I've got a choice with the 4K. I'll go for Blu-ray because it's cheaper. And
Yeah.
the odd film I will buy on 4K. I have got some 4Ks, but I have to make a decision whether I want it on 4K. And I'm doing films, obviously like Blade Runner and stuff like that. You've just got to have it on 4K. But other films you don't necessarily need on 4K. Yeah. Tony says, I have all the 60s Avengers on DVD, including the odd one or two remaining very early episodes. Yeah, with Ian Hendry as Steve's partner. Yeah,
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But a lot of them, I think, don't exist anymore. There's
they were junked, weren't
a
they?
lot, yeah,
Mm.
disappeared in the archive.
That's interesting. I wonder if anybody's been watching the ITV 70 stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. You see, you're one that watches sort of late night TV, don't you?
Well, no, it's just that ITVX is a streaming service.
Yeah,
It is free. You don't have to have a TV license to get yourself onto it.
No, you don't.
ITVX is very big at the moment with the ITV 70 celebration, and it's separated into 50s, 60s, 70s. There's not much on TV to celebrate it.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I saw a very sad story on YouTube this week, and it'll be in my blog. Tommy Cannon and Bobby Ball were very big on ITV.
I saw that, yeah.
And they interviewed Tommy Cannon.
He's
upset. He was so upset. He was saying,
yeah,
I just seem to be blackballed. I don't understand it. We were there. We had 22 million people watching our show. And yet we've not seen a sniff. They won't do a documentary on us. Nothing. Absolutely. And I want to keep Bobby Ball's name, going. I'm still an entertainer.
What is the reason for that? Because they were.
Well, that's what I mean. He calls it snobbery. He says it must be snobbery and all of this. It's the execs that won't greenlight something because they think of it as ancient or old or in the past.
You could probably say that about a lot of things.
But I think it's awful because the amount of money that they spent on doing a Les Dawson documentary and all of these sort of things, and yet Les Dawson was on the same, the same Star Search program that Tommy Cannon and Bobby Ball were.
Yeah.
And yet Les Dawson is far more appreciated than Cannon and Ball.
Yeah, and they would have been getting millions, wouldn't they, at their peak audiences in those days? It would be massive.
But when you do a documentary on something, I mean, they were all over them when he died, Bobby Ball. They did an hour-long documentary on it. But since then, it's like, who are they?
Yeah, well, it could be also, we may forget that the people who are now in charge of all these things, maybe a different lot of people from before.
Yeah, it's the execs. I'm pretty sure it's the people that look at things from a monetary point of view. Can we put this on a DVD? Can we get enough people in the evening slot watching this?
Yes.
Where can we put it other than on the streaming side of things? So therefore, we can spend 50 pence on it.
Yeah.
Who remembers it anyway? The millennials, they were gone from our screens. End of the 80s.
Yeah.
So the people now that have been born in the 2000s wouldn't even know the bloody hell they are.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. And yet, every Christmas you'll see a Morecambe and Wise documentary and all of this sort of stuff. How many Christmas shows did Cannon and Ball must have done in their 11 years of ITV? They were on at Christmas, so bloody hell. Yeah, they're no Morecambe and Wise. Don't get
Are
me
they
wrong.
available on physical media? Kind of.
Do you know what? Their shows are on YouTube, and I don't know if you can get them on physical media. Their film, but The Boys in
that
Blue,
will be. I'm sure.
that's
Yeah.
on physical media with
Yeah.
Suzanne Danielle and what was his name? Roy Kinnear.
Yeah.
Roy Kinnear was in that, and they sang the theme song to that as well.
Yeah.
We are the boys in blue. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, yeah. It was Will Hay, basically, a film, but it was a knockoff of Will Hay's Ask a Policeman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was all to do with the Smuggler's Cove and all of this sort of stuff, and the fact that their police station was right below.
Yeah.
The smuggling the stuff in. But it was all Suzanne Danielle's in jokes with her long legs and you know, perky top. Yeah. You know, I remember that. It's amazing, really, because what was Suzanne Danielle famous for other than she must have been a model, because she was in Carry On Emmanuel. I saw her in that. She was in The Boys in Blue. She was in that. I saw her in a Hammer Harris of Horror episode where she was going around killing everybody.
Yeah.
But what was she actually famous for other than Married to Rodney Bewes or whatever that person who's in Emmerdale anyway?
She want a son page 3 girl then or something like that.
I don't know, you know.
Originally.
This is what I'm trying to think of, because I know that she was super sexy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's sort of like that, possibly.
But what I'm trying to get at was she sort of like turned up as on like Blankety Blank or Celebrity Squares every now and again.
Yeah.
She was in the odd episode of stuff. But everybody knows her name. If you mention Suzanne, you go, "Oh, I know that."
Yeah.
I'm going, why?
Yeah.
She's hardly in anything.
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking how out of touch I am today. You see these things where it'll say, "Oh, celebrities cast away" or something, and all these people, celebrities. And I don't know any of them. I don't know these celebrities. Who are they? Who are these people? I suppose if you watch soaps and sort of these BBC Three kind of programs, people might know them, but it's a different world. Now we've talked about this before, but this is an interesting thing. Are you people old enough to remember Saturday morning pictures for the kids? Yeah, with things like Flash Gordon, Shazam. Or am I the old fart here? I'm afraid there's 2 old farts here.
I bet. I tell you what, Sandra Clark. In my head, you're in your 30s, right? I like to think. But now that you've dated it with Flash Gordon, I take it you're talking about the Buster Crab 30s.
There were all those Saturday morning cinema.
Because I saw those at our cinema club. I've told you a million times. We used to go in the 70s, pay 50 pence. Your mum dropped you off, it included the popcorn. And you'd watch a double bill of films, but there'd always be a serial, and you'd go back the next week and it'd be episode 2. They're showing Flash Gordon at the moment at 6:25 in the morning on Rewind TV. You can actually record the series that they've still got. I don't think they junked any of those, you know. No. Because they're on film, I think they're preserved.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Unlike series adaptations of Batman, where I think they've only got one of that. Superman, I think they got one of that.
Yeah. Oh, Superman. Yeah.
Flash Gordon. They were always in 13 parts.
Yeah.
And they were always 25 minutes long.
Yeah, and always you were in peril.
The first 5 minutes was the bloody great elongated bloody tune that they played at the beginning.
Yeah.
With the credits going up with a page type thing of each person that's in it, like Zarkov and all of this sort of stuff, right? And then there'd be the recap, and then you get into it and you're going, bloody hell, 5 minutes when he was start. I want to know how he got out of that bloody last thing. Well, the water was coming in, going to kill him.
And then,
you know, I want to know what happened to him. You know, did Zarkov fix him, or did he? You know, did somebody pull a switch and the water pull out or something, or what?
Plug out.
But pulled the plug out or something. And they always used to fly around them ships with the smoke coming out the back.
Yeah,
it's like that. It was. They look like cut off truncheons.
Yeah.
If somebody put some fins on the back of it,
Yeah.
and they always made that noise like you'd put tracing paper over a comb and blew into it. You know,
Oh, right.
they always made that noise. With smoke coming out. And you
Yeah.
wonder how the hell they hit each other because they always fired a firework out the front or something. It's just no lasers in this sort of thing. I loved them. I thought they were brilliant.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Buster Crab, what a guy.
Yeah. Buster, unfortunate name, but there we are.
Yeah, crab case.
Yeah. Sai says, yes, this is it. I remember he mentioned this. In Norse, this was an episode that he says was his favorite. There was a pharmaceutical firm pouring chemicals down the drain, which caused a single rat grow about 30 foot. It was a rip-off of alligator. Yeah. Oh, that sounds good.
Although, which came first, alligator or Norse?
Yeah.
Because alligator is not. I mean, Norse is 1977, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was alligator around in 1977?
No, it may not have been. I think. Yeah. That's what it was.
I would have been surprised if actually it wasn't Frank Herbert's Rats. It was based on or something like that. Did you read that book, Rats?
No, I've never seen. I've seen it on shelves, but I've never read it. I never bought it. No,
I read that. That's scary. That's scary.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Oh, great! Tony's mentions one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes. Here it is. Sounds like a similar plot to the giant maggots in Doctor Who's The Green Death.
And what a story The Green Death is.
It's one of the best. Story. Great story.
I don't care that story is listed as being really long and boring. It's economic. It's all about, the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I say to people like that, watch Colony in Space.
Yeah.
Well, right, it's better than that.
Actually, watch
that's a good story. That's a good story. But
it's quite political, but they do it in a good way, which they wouldn't do nowadays. Yeah, it is. It's quite good. It's ahead of its time, really. It's a sad episode because Joe leaves as well, and he's so. That ending is so powerful when the doctor
actually married in real life the actor, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were supposedly went to the Amazon.
And then she was posed topless and next to a Dalek, weren't she?
Yeah,
that was the end. That was the end of her. Famous, that is.
But to me, it was so touching because John Pertwee looked so upset.
Oh yeah,
missing her. And you almost felt that was genuine because he was a great friend of hers. They were really friends. And she talks so much about him. And it's almost genuine. It feels genuine, that sort of sadness. It really does. Anyhow, can't say I've heard of Shazam, Sandra. I remember Flash Gordon. Is Shazam a comic character or something? Because they've done sort of recent years. I mean, DC or something.
It was Shazam as a DC character. Had a big sort of like gold arrow going of like and then it's quite something I've never had on Kung Fu on video DVD. And yet some 40 years later, after watching it, I could sing you the complete theme song. Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah. Kung Fu.
Yeah. It is. It's a classic. It's a classic. They don't make them like that anymore.
I mean, it's a rappy thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Really, it's like he's got style, with a just let it start. Yeah. When the going gets tough, he's super tough with a Hong Kong Fooey chop.
Sandra, do you mean the Buster Crab, Flash Gordon, and Buck Rogers? I downloaded all the series off YouTube years ago. Classics.
You can get them on DVD. I'd love a Blu-ray set of them.
Yeah.
I'd love them to go back and clean them up. Rewind show them, and they're not too bad.
But
you can tell that they're the same ones that the BBC.
They haven't, remastered them. No.
Yeah. Denny would know. I think Denny knows that they've been done, but I think you have to go to Australia to get them or something.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, before we go any further, because we've still got plenty of time, I'm pretty sure there aren't that many comments to come. I told you about that June box set, didn't I? That was like 160 odd quid, right?
Yeah.
With the sand that drips down and it box.
Have you ordered it? Have you ordered it?
My buggery. Jesus Christ. What do you think? I'm a bottomless pit of money?
Yes, for Dude.
Right.
I bet if it was the Star Trek The Motion Picture, you'd have a bottomless pit.
I'd buy it there. I'd get a loan out,
Yeah.
But it's just that it is the most gorgeous looking box I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right? I had to send it to you and go,
yeah, I know.
I'm sorry to show you this.
Yeah.
It's weird how the Never Ending Story actually is a more expensive set.
I'll tell you something. If it's still around next year, I may well buy it. There's a real treat.
Then I saw another video where there wasn't an unboxing that told that this guy turned around and said, "Never Ending Story, believe it or not, you can still buy now."
Well, my dear, is that
a year on?
Yeah,
and he did not see this June as being selling out. He said, "I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know." He said, "I have not got the inclination to buy something from Australia, pay that extortionate amount of shipping, and have it arrive. I'll wait until the Americas have got it in some boutique shop, and I'll buy it there and not pay that import stuff." That's what puts everybody off, because who wants to spend? Because this box set's 100. I mean, I thought it was more expensive, but it's actually 139.99, right?
It's the postage.
But the trouble is, it's like 50, 60 quid in postage and packing.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And some bright sparkles say, yeah, but if you spend $300, it's free packaging, right? But if you put the two box sets that were coming out at the same time, it was June and Summer House. Can't remember what it was, the Crate or something like that. Can't remember. You'd be 7 cents under the money that you need to have it sent free packaging.
Yeah.
7 cents. 7 cents. You've got to buy a $30 of a film to get the 7 cents to get you over it, right? There's nothing that you can do to buy something for $1 from them so that you can have that free packet. Like, you can't can you put it in gift wrap, right, or something, right? So that he just puts it £1 or something. Right?
Yeah.
So you can't get your price up to 300 without actually going $30.
I reckon the customs will do you. I think the customs will charge.
And then there'll be the customs charge as well.
So you got that on top of that. So
there'll be the customs charge as well. But anyway, anybody that wants to know what we're talking about, that set is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it is gorgeous, this set. I mean, it's got a hardback book in it. It's got a metal type. Honestly, it's got this sort of like, not a lenticular picture. It's a picture with a sort of like cellophane front with sand. You know, like the old things that you used to buy from the seaside, where you have all different layers of sand, right? In an enclosed picture of like the county or something, right? It's like cellophane, and the sand drips down and fills up the picture of the army that's at the bottom of the, so it covers them. So you turn it upside down. It's like an hourglass.
Yeah,
upside down. The sand goes. Gorgeous looking thing.
It is,
gorgeous looking thing.
Yeah.
$139.99. That's the trouble.
Yeah. If I had the money, I'd be definitely tempted to get that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting. Sandra says, I really never liked Faulty Towers. I just don't find it funny at all. I'll get my coat before you kick me out. We wouldn't do that.
We wouldn't do that. No, we've got an ejector seat, you know, like Graham Norton. We'd put you in the red chair and pull the lever back.
So you go off you go.
That's it, you'd be gone. No, Faulty Towers isn't for everybody, don't get me wrong. And I can understand that people are sick of seeing Basil Fawlty with a big branch in his hand hitting the bloody mini car that he's smashing over the, you know, and all of that sort of stuff. It's just that to certain people, and I'm one of them, I watched them when they were first broadcast, found them funny, and all through the years, I've just considered them funny.
Yeah,
and I've even bought the scripts to them. You know, like I've bought the Only Fools and Horses scripts, and I've bought the Monty Python scripts. I like to read along with the book that I'm watching the Monty Python episode with, you know, with the dead parrot. I'm looking at the script in this book, and it's word for word.
It's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
You know, I can read the text before he actually comes out of his mouth, you know, and it's
actually they're easy to watch. I watch them every year. They're easy to watch, aren't they? You can just do a whole quick setting of them. You know, there's only 12 episodes.
That's it. 12 episodes.
Yeah. And then he's saying, yes, Rocket Bunny. Yes, Sandra's saying about that. Yeah. Rocket Bunny. Crockett Red Countdown. Lift Off. Rocket Red Countdown.
Oh, that's a TV program.
Rocket Red Countdown. Lift Off.
What was that? That's a kiddies.
Wasn't I thought Lift Off was
No, it's Rocket Red Countdown.
Oh, I don't know.
Can't remember what that is. Oh, what a bastard. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. And then Tony says, I was lucky. I saw Zulu Dawn Blu-ray on Music Magpie for about £10, US version, but region free. Oh, well, you did well.
I don't know if you remember. I showed my copy off that came through. It was that was from I think it was World of Books. My one was.
Oh, it's worth checking out on those. Right. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is it's like if you want to get it on Amazon, it's like 27 quid or something, secondhand or whatever it is, right? Through these other sellers. You'll find it on Music Magpie, World of Books, just like you'll find Waterloo and all of that sort of stuff on there. Even that box set that we've got, our lovely box set.
I've got that.
But it's worth tracking down. But it's more expensive than Zulu as well.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Never understood it.
Oh, here's your car. See, I don't know much about cars. I'm not a driver. So I saw a picture of the new Capri Del. Nothing to do with the original, in my opinion. They're just cashing in on the name.
There's no even homage to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even try.
Yeah. Now, I know this. Minis, I know. I'd have a Mini, definitely, if I were a driver. I like the new Mini, a new Beetle. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the thing my sister loves, right? She loves the new Mini. And I go, but it's nothing like a Mini Cooper from the bloody 60s, right? It's made by BMW, and it's got bloody great big wing, like wheel arches that have got a black plastic coating over it and all this sort of stuff. And you can sort of like see that BMW have just over-engineered. The reason the Mini Cooper sold was because how small and quick and nimble it was around town. And they go and make it into a bloody great big, like it might as well be an Audi, right? You know what I mean, or a B. It's Mini by name.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, I'm not putting it down. It's a lovely looking car.
Yeah,
it's just that it's almost like BMW took it and put a BMW badge and price on it.
Yeah.
So it's out. I mean, the Mini was supposed to be an affordable car for the masses. Right. And if BMW take over it, it's like a 30 grand car. Like, a 30 grand Mini. Jesus Christ, what the hell? And you look at the dashboard, and they've gone for the old sleek, the old ring look. The speedometer and that, and you're going 30 grand for this. I want a dashboard that looks like the Starship Enterprise for 30 grand. So which way are you going to go? Are you going to go with cheap, or are you going to go with expensive? And it's almost like they've gone for premium with all the old looks on the inside.
Yeah.
That's all. The Beatles the same. I mean, I'd love what do they call them? When Volkswagen got together with Porsche and they came up with a Beetle that was with a Porsche back, it was began with H. Oh, it's going to annoy me. Carry on, doesn't matter. It's cars.
Rock Bunny says, my TR7 story. My dad worked for British Leyland in the 70s, 80s. One Friday night in the 80s, he brought up a TR7 to travel for work the following week. He was the coolest dad ever that weekend. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And
my dad worked for General Motors.
Yeah.
GM.
And then Tony says, Maxes were fantastic cars in that day. First British hatchback way back in the late.
I'll tell you what, a funny story about my Maxi was it's the seats inside them, right? They were like settees. You slid around in them because they were made of that sort of like synthetic leather, it was like plastic with those ridges in it, right? And you just thought to yourself, there's no point putting a seatbelt on this, because you're just going to go through the windscreen. Because you go round the corner and your bum would slide. You go, just like this, because it was just so shiny. It was like having an inflatable chair.
Oh,
those inflatable chairs with the rim.
Yeah,
that's what it was like, but made out of plastic.
Oh dear. Now this is interesting. Did you know, this is Stephen Taylor, that Leeds was the birthplace of film? Roundhay Garden Scene, 1880 was the title. Ian was just a babe in arms at the time. I told it Leeds. It's fantastic.
I do know that that they did a documentary on Sky Documentaries last week, and they were talking about who was actually the birth of the moving picture, and it's always denoted as being those in America, right? But it wasn't. In fact, there's a film based on the guy that did it. He actually made the first moving plate. It's basically a picture that moved, right? And he worked on this camera, so it wasn't. But the thing was, his picture moved, but he could not project it onto the screen, which is why he's not considered the first. Right?
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. The Black Box, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That's the film. Something like that. And it is strange how we perceive who invented film. Who invented the moving picture.
Yeah.
It's amazing how it's always the Americans that are mentioned.
Yeah, of course. No, they always get the...
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting that it says Roundhay Garden Scene. Now, I wonder if that is linked. In Leeds, there's a massive park we used to go to called Roundhay Park. I think they do concerts there as well now. But when I was younger, they didn't. I think Rolling Stones and that play at Roundhay Park. But Mum and Dad always used to take us on special occasions to Roundhay Park. It was a great...
No, I remember you telling me the first concert you went to. It was Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, wasn't it?
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, dear.
I can't remember rightly. I think that's what I think that's what you told me was your first concert.
Yeah, I'm sure I did. Yeah. Anyhow, that's interesting. Yeah. Roundhay Park. Great memories of my childhood. Yeah.
I remember you turning around and saying it was all right, but you didn't like putting the tights on.
And 60s, yeah. And Rocky Bunny says, I agree with Del. Here, somebody's agreeing with you. How much you penny? The new Capri
Oh,
is
you bastard!
shameful.
Oh, you little shit!
Will never beat the lime green Capri
Capri, yeah.
my next door neighbor had in the late 70s. He followed it up with amazing bright yellow Ford
RS 2000. Wow, the RS badge. Now there's a car, the Ford RS, the RS badge. Wow.
Oh, dear.
Wasn't that great? The RS badge, yeah.
I've no idea. And then Tony says, Rocket, your dad wasn't Red Robbo, was
Oh,
he?
Red
You
Robbo.
have to be a certain age to know about him. Was continually on TV news in the mid 70s. Red Robbo, was he a striking leader or something? Did he lead all these strikes?
I'll tell you what, I've just got to get a water from the garage.
Yeah.
It won't be a minute.
Yeah. I wonder if it was. There was somebody called Red. It seems to. I seem to remember it because it was in. There was a lot of sort of industrial unrest with the unions at a certain point. Certainly in mid 70s. I mean, we had it all the time, and we got the 3-day week, and when telly went off at 10:30, oh yes, we had these. The electricity went off. I remember all that. We were there in candlelight, and set TV finished at 10:30, and that was it. Then, and candlelight straight on. Oh yeah, I remember all those. A 3-day week. It was a big thing at the time. And I'm sure Red Robbo was among those leading union people who were involved in all these strikes, as I remember. That's it, I think. I don't know anything. I can't remember anything else. But yeah, Red Robbo.
Well, you'd know about the strikes, wouldn't you, being up north?
Yeah, well, they were down south as well. Everywhere.
Yeah, but everybody up north was down pit, weren't they?
I don't think you were born, was you? You wouldn't have been born. It was about 1972, 73, and then
I was born before 72. You daft sod.
Oh, yeah. Well, you wouldn't have known. I'm
a 60s child.
Yeah, just. But it's not proper, is it? Yeah, you're a 60s child. God.
Bloody hell.
But you wouldn't remember that. You wouldn't remember any 3-day week.
Of course I do.
Strikes and candlelight.
I remember when the coinage changed.
Oh yeah, 71 decimal coins. 71.
Yeah, because when I went to primary school and we used to play with tills and the fruit, and you used to bring bananas and total it up so that you could understand what the change was.
Yeah.
Our schools still had the old coins and they had the new ones. But if you ran out of the new ones, you had to put the old ones in. And there was they had the sixpence and all of this. So I was like, what's this coin? What's this bloody coin then? So that they were, and I remember my mum, and I think she's still got it upstairs, has got the cardboard folder out with the new penny, with all the new pennies that they gave you, because they had all the coinage with the certain holes put in.
And
they gave to everybody.
Remember the half penny? They had an half penny. That didn't last long.
Yeah.
It was really small, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, my mum used to collect all those half pennies. She used to give them to me, and I used to go to the store and I used to have a fruit salad or a blackjack, half penny chew. I used to get, I used to buy one blackjack and one fruit salad for a penny. I used to give over my 2 half pennies, and there you are.
Because I also remember they had 2 prices. So you'd have like 6pence and it'd have 2.5 pence. Something like that. A shilling, 5 pence.
Just in likeness, because you'll remember this, right? How many pennies made up the old pound? Because it was like 170 something, wasn't it? That made
the old pennies. It was 20, wasn't it? 20.
No, when we talk about a pound, it was something like, if you go a pound, it's like 10 times 10 pence, right? But an actual pound, the old days, it's like 177 pence or something, wasn't it? It was like 240. There you are. Somebody's just said 240 pennies in a pound.
Yeah, there you
And
are.
I'm just going, who the hell worked out that system? Because anybody that was born like me and went to school and worked out decimalisation, it was like, what, 10 pennies to 10 pence and all that sort of stuff. How the hell do you put 240 into a pound?
Yeah.
Like, what? 120 must be 50 pence then.
Yeah.
But you can't work it out like that. It don't work like that.
Actually, they were very crafty because in the end, nobody.
Oh yeah, you lost out. They rounded everything. They rounded everything up. They
did. Nobody wanted the half pences, so they just stick them up. They just put them to a penny.
And the lower the price of things, the more their money they made, because it wasn't like on big cars.
Yeah.
It was always fruit or something like that. They put it on because it was like, oh, I used to be able to buy a bag of peanuts or something, and it would cost me this. Now, they've rounded it up, so basically, I'm losing out because always the greengrocers that got the flack. The greengrocers or the butchers got the flack.
Yeah. And also, I don't know, do you remember before the 50 pences, you had 10 bob notes? They were brown.
Oh, yeah. That's where it came from. You know, like the 10 bob, you know.
Yeah. And half crown. You had half a crown, didn't you?
If you ever want to learn any of this stuff, just listen to Max Bygrave's Back in My Childhood Days song, right? You'll understand anything Ian's talking about, right? Because it's the only way you're going to learn. Right.
1971. We had to have blooming lessons at school.
Because you remember when bras were called stays, don't you?
Oh God, no.
You do.
Oh dear.
Popeye the Sailor was the top animation at the time.
Oh yeah. Do you know I'm one of the few people. Well, not few people. I don't like Popeye that much. I never got on with Popeye.
Olive Oil used to annoy me.
Yeah.
I used to think to myself, Popeye, you're quite handsome. What the hell are you going after this woman for? She's
olive oil.
She's got the thinnest legs you've ever seen in your life. I mean, she weren't Betty Boo, was she? I mean,
no, she weren't very good.
Jesus Christ! Yeah. I mean, what the hell are you going out? Let Brutus have her for God's sake. You can do so much better.
Yeah.
What the hell is it?
Yeah. Tony, I had to look him up just now. I bet my old man would shout and swear at him on TV at the time. Oh, yeah. Shout and swear. What are the odds that Del still has Snow White? I bet he keeps it under a counter like the video shop did for video nasties.
I am not. It went back to Amazon. Right? It went back to Amazon saying, I went back to Amazon, I turned around and said, I ain't buying this shit. And I put that on a note.
I like it. Video now.
And I got a refund. Fair enough. I just said, I am not having this shit.
Oh dear. Oh look, Sandra is how can anyone not like Tron? I'm shocked. What? How? Well, there we are.
You tell me. I thought I was onto a winner, Sandra, when I sent that. Bloody hell.
Yeah, he sent me a download of it, and I thought, blooming, everybody's going mad about this film. It must be fantastic. I was really hyped up, and I thought, oh, yeah. And I switched it off.
It is another language. It is another language. I mean, all this master compute, you know, the MCP and he's called RAM and who's your program and who's your user. I do understand.
Yeah.
But it's just that all you've got to think about is forget the language, right? We're talking about a person writes a program and it's in a box. What would it be like if you were digitized and you were put inside that environment and everybody in there acts like people, but actually they're programs going around all the circuitry inside your board? It's just magical. It's like going through the wardrobe and getting to Narnia,
Yeah.
right? But you've got to look at it like that, otherwise you get lost. And if you
Yeah.
and it's easily done because the language is so.
Yeah. Well, I
in
didn't
your
get
face.
started. Never mind, lost. I just, it just didn't mean anything to me. I suppose it's because I'm of that age when.
I mean,
You know,
everybody's
computers
looking.
were
I mean, a
new.
lot of people are looking forward to Tron Ares, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Right. The thing about Tron Ares, though, is that a lot of people are filled with dread at the moment for it because they're not going with the old characters. So Flynn, who's in the first one, he's hardly in it. It's
Yeah.
you know, Legacy had them in. You know, we brought back. You know, you brought back the character of Flynn. But this one's got hardly anything. They're going in a totally different direction with totally different characters, and people are going, "Well, it ain't going to be Tron then," because the whole point of Tron was it is explained in Tron Legacy. It's the legacy of it all. You know, you don't want to go down this route, but apparently you got to give it a chance. So Tron is a totally this Tron Ares is a totally different beast of a film. Apparently, I still want to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And my 2-disc DVD set of Tron is winging its way tomorrow to you, Tony, Ian. So,
no.
I might send it to Tony York because then he can send it on to you when he's upgraded it. So if I send it to Tony York and he likes it and he buys the new steelbook of it, he'll send you the DVD copy to you, and it can be in Tony York's corner, can't it? Either way, you know you're going to get it, don't you? You do know it's going to be on your shelf.
No.
I give it till Christmas before you've got a copy of Tron on your shelf somewhere. And you can't get rid of it because it was gifted to you.
Yeah, I know.
Tough shit. You know it's going to happen.
It's
going to happen.
Tony says it was. This is that Red Robot. It was a well-known battle between him and the trade unions on one side, and Michael Edwards and the management on the other.
Yeah,
it was all over the news, on and off at the period. I do remember it. I've forgotten about Michael Edwards. Your memory is better than mine. I can't remember that name. I don't remember that.
I can't picture his face, but I remember his name being bandied about.
Yeah. And then
because I always remember the pictures of people coming up from the pit, right?
Yeah.
And they were always old guys with flat caps, and the teeth were half missing. Either their teeth were missing or they got black coal covering their teeth so that they look like they're about three teeth.
All that. Yeah.
And they always came out going, "Nobody understands what we're down here for and how much work we put in." And they always did it in a Yorkshire accent.
And do you remember the Public Enemy was, what's his name? Arthur Scargill.
Arthur Scargill, yeah.
You remember Arthur Scargill? He was the Public Enemy.
And of course, Arthur Scargill, wasn't he the one that they showed the famous scene of him going into the sea and nearly falling over?
I think that was the other bloke, the other union leader.
But during Margaret Thatcher,
his name was. Yeah. Oh, them two were always at each other. They were supposedly at the same union, but Arthur Scargill
it was in Spitting Image, wasn't it? They showed that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Here we are. This is for me. Well, it's been nice knowing you all. I'm going to unsubscribe from Ian's channel now. Doesn't have 2001 H Tron. Just unacceptable there, Ian. Oh well, there we are. Yeah, I can't sit here pretending that I like a film when I don't like it.
Neil, somebody's just said Neil Kinnock.
Yeah, that's it, Neil Kinnock.
But yeah, I mean, it took me a while, Rocket, to not understand. What do you mean 2001 is shit? What do you want to? And then Tron, it was like blew me away. What do you mean Tron? I can't watch this shit. What? It does throw you because Ian's really a connoisseur of a number of films, you know, and I'm there going, yeah, I'm with you on that. That's great, you know, Zulu, Waterloo, all that sort of stuff. And it's just weird, but I do understand his mentality. He turns around, he says, "Look, 2001. It's just boring. You've got Leonard Rossiter. I can't get past the fact he was Bigsby.
Yeah,
Right?
it's true.
He's there. Why is he
Ridiculous.
there? He's on a board of a spaceship talking with a pen in his hand, talking about it. He does not look. What is he in this film for?
Yeah.
And I get it.
It's not his
right?
fault, but you know, that's the way it
Yeah,
is.
you see, you got to be a person sometimes that looks past that. Because the other thing that I can't believe was Rocky. You know, oh, boxing films, I ain't interested in that shit. And, you know, and you go, what, Rocky? Jesus, the only person I know in this world who doesn't like Rocky. What the hell are you on about? But I understand it as well. It's just that my dad and I bonded over Muhammad Ali, so Rocky, you know.
No, but Rocky, I like it a bit better now. I have seen it again. I can understand why people love it, but I just, you know, don't love it really. But I can understand why. You know, Stallone is that kind of.
It's just that we're just scared to mention things like Raging Bull, and because it's boxing and he won't like that because he doesn't like Rocky and he doesn't like. You know, but Raging Bull, what a film! You know,
It's not about boxing, really, though, is it? Raging Bull isn't really about. It's boxing's in it, obviously, but it's not really about boxing in the same way that Rocky's about the small guy beating the big guy, isn't it? Really, coming from.
I think it's a bit more than that.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit more than that.
That's a positive message. That's a good. It's what people.
But I still think it's about an average normal guy,
and he gets his chance
and gets a shot at the title.
Yeah.
He's on Skid Row. He's going to Skid Row boxing. You know, like kind of. He's actually on the docks getting money from to give people that have got loans on the docks, you know, to pay their way.
He has to do all that. Yeah.
So basically, it's not all about boxing.
Yeah,
because all of the other characters around it, they're in Skid Row shops. You know, they're working in pet stores or they're working in a butcher's. All of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So you know, you got to understand it that okay. And it is the underdog trying to go for the title, and he loses. But my God, didn't he give him a bloody good shot?
No, you just spoiled. I see. I never got to end that film. I didn't know he lost. I didn't know he lost the fight. I assumed he won.
Wow.
Oh,
sorry for the spoiler there, but it did come out in 1977. I do apologise. You know.
Big spoiler. Everybody knows.
Sorry to upset you. You know, but One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is set in a mental academy.
So
oh God! Look, I've given the game away now. Jesus Christ, you know.
So how long does it take him to win the title? Does he win it?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Oh. Does it take till third one before he actually wins it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Because you could put the first two. You could put the first couple of films together and make one. Because it turned into a glossy mess, really. But not a mess. It turned into. What you have to understand is that the other thing about it is because it was made in 1977, it looks gritty.
Yeah.
And the next film that came out is still pre-80s. It's 1979. Still looks gritty.
Yeah.
Right. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's always looked this sort of like powerhouse type thing.
Yeah.
Stallone looked strong but flabby, not flabby. You know what I mean? But it's just not. He didn't look like that when he walked down. You know, his pecs were moving up and down just by walking. Yeah, right. That's Sylvester Stallone back in the past. In these two Rocky films, he looks like he's got not defined like arms and abs and all this showing and all that. You have to get to the third film for that.
Oh, right, there you are.
Right.
Yeah,
that's when he's in, because by that point he's done a Rambo film and all of that sort of stuff, you know. So he's looking like Rambo 2 in Rocky 3. You know what I mean? So he's got all the veins showing down his arms and all that sort of stuff, you know.
Yeah. And then Si says, I know, Sandra, they're still on about me with Tron. And
Yeah,
then
bloody hell.
good old Tony, he says, I've never seen Tron. Goodbye.
Yeah, but I just said I'm going to send my 2 discs. I'm going to send my 2 disc Tron to Tony York. He's going to love it. He's going to send it in a big batch of other bloody DVDs to you, and you'll have it on your shelves. End of the year. No word of a lie. That's what's going to happen this year.
And then Rocket Bunny there in a laugh, yeah. And then he says, I'm so excited to see Tron Ares coming out next week.
Yeah, I think it's next week, yeah.
Well, you'll enjoy it. Yeah, I'm sure you will. And then Sandra's saying, you must watch it, Tony Hawk. It's one of the best films of all time. Oh, my giddy aunt. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great film, but it influenced me a hell of a lot because of the way it looks.
Wow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
But I'm surprised you weren't mesmerized just by the opening, because it shows all these vector lines and all that sort of stuff. And,
give me a film like Weapons. That's a proper film that I've watched this year. Absolutely adored Weapons.
Yeah, but that's like comparing, chalk with cheese and stuff.
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say is they're two totally different things. We're talking about a science fiction film here. That's like turning around and saying, "Oh, show me the time machine." Now I understand that, right?
Yeah, show me the time machine. Show me
Weapons is nothing like Tron.
Weapons
is nothing like Tron.
There's just loads of sci-fi films I could think of, which and films that are sci-fi horror. I mean, look at Alien, sci-fi horror.
I mean, I will turn around. I will turn around now and say Alien shits over Tron.
Oh,
I will watch Alien over the. I will watch Alien over Tron every time.
I'd say Alien 3 does it over Tron.
But Tron has got some of the best things in it that I could ever think of. The music, for a start.
Oh dear.
Right. You know full well how much I like early synthesizers.
You love the music.
Early synthesizers.
Yeah.
And then you've got the graphics, which look like they're computer driven, but are actually hand drawn. There's no CGI in this.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a Disney product through and through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they were filming that, they filmed it like Superman. You know, with the silver foil over it, and then shine a light on it, and it looks silver.
Yeah.
And that's because all they had on was foam with painted silver over the top of it, and they had leotards on. But when you do this special light on it, it looks like they're inside a computer because they look synthetic. All you see is their faces, and the rest looks like it was generated over the top of them. I mean, it had so many firsts in it. It's great. But I told you, I get it. You don't really into computers. You don't get the language of computers.
No.
Inside of a computer, it might as well look like the map of the bloody world.
Yeah, it's the way we were. I mean, at school there was no computers. In the 70s, I was born, as a teenager. We never had computers. Absolutely not. So that's why I'm not, it's my age. It definitely is an age thing. And I can understand if you're brought up with something, then it means a lot to you, Yeah,
but I sometimes wonder if you're putting yourself down a little bit here, because Tomorrow's World always showed things and all that sort of stuff. So you could get an appreciation.
Would have shown
everybody that I know watched Tomorrow's World.
Yeah, but it always used to make me laugh that when they showed computers, they were all massive in these rooms with reels going round and everything. They were really massive, weren't they? They were just massive. I mean, it always looked futuristic. Computers did, but. Yeah, it just wanted.
At our school, we had Apple IIes and Commodore PET.
There you are. We never had anything like that.
Yeah, but
it was a revolution.
Yeah, but listen, I'm talking 1978.
Yeah, well, I was at university in '78.
Well, then you bloody had computers then, didn't you? You daft sod.
At university, we didn't have computers.
Well, you went to a
We were
weird
still
university
using
then.
No, well, this is 1978, lad. There weren't
Yeah,
even the libraries.
1978, our secondary school had Commodore PETs and Apple
Yeah,
IIes. I never went to university.
I went to university and I did history, right? And none of it. We still had blooming microfiche. If we were looking up documents, we had to look on microfiche.
Oh, yeah, I actually
filmed
filmed microfiche for GK and Auto Parts in
Yeah.
my wife. Yes, but how your library ever succeeded without a bloody computer? I
Well,
don't know.
probably not long after I left, probably. But it was that era that we're changing over, I think. I suspect only a few years after they would have gone straight, going across.
I mean, really, the computer. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It's just that Tomorrow's World was on, and what you have to remember is Britain was at the forefront of getting computers into schools, and we had the computer program that used to be on BBC One with Ian McNaughton and all that sort of stuff, or whatever his name was, and they were heavily pushing the BBC Bees into the and this is we're talking 1981 here, right?
Yeah.
So what I know that you'd have left by then, but what I'm trying to say is you couldn't move without hearing about the silicon chip, the computer, the pocket calculator was now just about everywhere.
They were always on about the pocket calculator,
etc. And digital watches. So I'm just surprised that computers just did not filter through to you when you must have had a pocket calculator.
I mean, I knew about the ZX and all those little computer things, but I never got into them. I just never went there. But yeah, they had the ZX.
So I swear that sometimes when you talk about your schooling, I keep thinking that you were learnt how to tell time by the bloody time by a sundial.
Probably at infant school. We nearly were. Probably no. We probably had one of them clocks.
When they were talking about what's the big hand on, you went, I don't know, because the sun goes round an hours and it shines a shadow. Look, and it goes to points to this bit here. Right? What the hell are you talking about? Without the sun, I don't know what the hell the time is.
Well, do you know what our calculators were? They were blooming slide rules. I don't know if you remember
slide rules. Yeah,
we had to have the blooming slide rules calculated. And then guess what? Being very thick with all these numbers, I could never operate a blooming slide rule properly. We had to have lessons on how to blooming use this stupid thing.
Anyway, we all get off that subject.
Yeah.
And all that. Okay, we understand. You don't like Tron. We get it. Yeah.
The trailers had a mixed reaction from a lot of YouTubers. I'm trying to ignore the negativity and go in with an open mind. I think you should.
Oh, that's to do with Tron Ares, yeah. And I'm doing the same. Yeah. I haven't actually. Do you know what? I have not seen the trailer.
Yeah.
I have not seen the trailer. I thought I had, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I checked my YouTube history. I thought I had, but I haven't.
Oh, well, that's all right that you're not seeing it. I'd leave it like that. And then Rocket Buddy says, I put the experience watching the original Tron as a kid up there with Star Wars, to be honest. Well, that's it. I mean, that's what you get from it. And then, yes, I can't say I don't like it, Sandra. Just never seen it. That says Tony.
Yeah, and if I ever find out your address, you're having it, because then you can send it on to Ian. If I ever find out, Tony, your bloody address, that's a 2-disc version of Tron coming.
Look at all Tron fans coming in. It was so pioneering
and unique, and it was.
Yeah. And then, actually, this is probably right as well. I wonder if the powers that be regard Cannon and Ball as un-PC. That probably is a factor. It probably is.
I don't know. Like I said, I mean, un-PC. What did they do that might be offensive? I suppose some of their. I don't remember them. I don't remember them blacking up, and I don't remember.
I don't remember them swearing.
That's what I mean. When they were on the Wheel Tappers and Shunters Club, you probably could say that they were on PC, but when they were mainstream, 7:30 on a Saturday night, doing a sketch show with a load of guests and singing songs,
there wouldn't have been any sexual jokes. There wouldn't have been anything that was considered risky, would there? There wouldn't have been anything like that because they were mainstream, weren't they?
I think so.
Mainstream, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, on the other side, what did we have on the other side? We had, Little and Large.
Yeah. Yeah, what can I say about that?
They were probably their biggest opposition, and I would say I've watched Cannonball every time over Little and Large.
Yeah, I never liked.
I think there was something risky about Bobby Ball. That's all it was. He was very risky. It was like crying any moment. Because he used to go.
Yeah,
he looked like he was going to go.
Yeah,
like this and all this sort of stuff, right?
And Little and Large.
What did Little and Large have? You had Sid Little who looked like a person who looked like Harold Lloyd with glasses on, trying to play the guitar, which he couldn't do.
Yeah.
You had Eddie that basically just took the piss out of him.
Yeah, that's it.
All the time.
That was it.
With Bobby Ball and Tommy Cannon, it was Bobby Ball that always wanted to be Tommy's friend, but Tommy always pushed him away, type thing, and said, "You're just putting me down. You're dragging me down. Go away. You need to be over there." And he'd be upset and go, "Oh, you don't like me, you don't love me," and then he'd be upset and bring him over and say, "I'm your friend again now."
Yeah,
that to me was better comedy than Little and Large.
Right, no more or less than most acts from that time, Tony. Yeah, it's that particular period. Yeah, more than likely, Tony. And then Sandra says, "I'm tempted to buy it and post it to you, Tony." Loud, you can end up with it.
You'll have 2 copies then, and then they'll both be winging you away. You'll have 2 copies of Tron on your shelf. You must love it. You bought it twice. Look at that. People had come into your house with that. That'd be hilarious. No. You had 2 copies of Tron turn up.
It says, I don't remember them being particularly controversial. No, I don't think Cannonball were. They weren't.
No, I don't. Wheel Tappers and Social Club, I should think.
That was controversial. Definitely a bit more. Even that,
Bobby Ball would be in the crowd, wouldn't he? And he'd sort of like be heckling, and then he'd get up on the stage, because actually that's how they started off their double act, because he came on as a singer, didn't he, Tommy?
Yeah.
And then he'd be in the crowd going, "That's my friend up there. We were together," and all this sort of thing, which they did because they were welders.
Yeah.
They did all the thing I admire about Tommy Cannon and Bobby Ball is that they did the same circuits as Les Dawson. They were northern clubs, and I tell you what, if you ever went into a northern club, and I can well believe this because I never did.
Yeah.
If you weren't liked, you would have tins of bloody soup chucked at you.
They all said that. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you didn't get you were dead.
Yeah, there were people.
You had to have an act.
Yeah.
And so if they weathered that storm, no wonder they succeeded.
Yeah. Well, we've answered this, I think, in many ways. Who was better, Little and Large or Cannon?
Oh, yeah, Cannon and Ball.
I think we've answered that one, yeah.
As much as Little and Large were funny, because they did do some sketches, they were no more, they were bigged up. The trouble with Little and Large to me is they were bigged up to be a replacement for Morecambe and Wise.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
But the trouble is, ITV already had Cannon and Ball from 1979.
Yeah.
And they were already on their way up to having 17 to 20 million people watching. The Little and Large succeeded pretty much because they put them front and centre at BBC's Variety for Saturday night.
And people stay and watched all that. Yeah. Saturday night was a BBC thing, wasn't it?
You could stick anybody up there and 12 million would watch it. You know what I mean?
Generation Game and all that sort of stuff.
And we got to also remember that this was an era where video recorders were starting to come into people's homes. You could record the other side.
Yeah.
Mustn't forget that.
people did as well, didn't they? Yeah, they made that choice.
Can't record both sides like you can with the Skybox.
Yeah.
So I'll record Little and Large, watch Cannon and Ball, or I'll record Cannon and Ball because I want to keep it. Little, I'll watch Little and Large.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is interesting. It says, yeah, there are plenty of Cannon and Ball DVDs on
there you go.
now. And here, Rocket Bunny says, I think Little and Large were bigger in their time, maybe.
I don't think that.
I don't know.
I would say that people, and the thing about it is that I don't know too much about Little and Large doing the seaside, doing the seaside stuff like Cannon and Ball, because they'd go to Blackpool Pier and they'd be doing their act. Little and Large, did they do that? They probably did.
Yes, I think Little and Large did. Yeah, because my mum and dad definitely saw them.
Like Ken Dodd and all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They all
because
did.
once your TV is off, once your thing is off the air and you've gone through the autumn, and they had to do something in the summer, so they had to do the seaside set, didn't they?
They'd start in about June or something like that, and then go through till about September, October.
And then I'll tell you what, in September they would be on Saturday night, 8:30 ITV show.
Yeah, because that was new season. They always say the new season on ITV on BBC.
Oh, even in America, September is the day that all the new stuff comes on. We're in the autumn now, and this is what you're going to be watching. And then the TV got so much better than the summer, because the summer is when everybody goes on holiday and no bugger watches TV.
Oh, they put repeats on, as they say.
Put repeats
on, I like this bit. Stephen Taylor, all we have today is Ant and Dec.
Oh, yeah, that's the shame, isn't it?
Now this I remember. Sandra says Susanna was an Olympic gymnast at the start. That's Susan Dando.
Susan Dando, was she an Olympic gymnast? Right.
Sandra Clark, 30s Delboy. I retire in 11 years. I wish I was 30.
Bloody hell. I retire when? Well, I'll tell you this. I can't work out when I retire because the bloody government keeps changing the bloody years forward. I think it'll be 75 by the time I retire.
And I retire August next year. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a pensioner next year.
You're a pensioner now, you old sod. You just scuffed out your birth certificate and wrote a different bloody year just to make yourself look younger.
Tony says, I think Susan Danielle. Oh, I said Susan.
I thought her name was Suzanne Dando. I don't know.
I don't know. We're mixed up, aren't we? Here. In Can It Carry On films, then, is it Susan Danielle or Susan Danda?
I don't
know. I think so. She was an early example of being famous just because she was a so-called personality. Not because she'd done anything particularly remarkable. Lots more of them around now. Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, these people don't know.
I just know that she was famous as being on the set, being on the. As going to parties with her husband, which then, or a boyfriend. I think it was a boyfriend, and I think it was Rodney something or other his name was. And it's like, wow, he's punching above his station. I tell you what, she's gorgeous. Look at him, Jesus Christ! He looked like he made Sid James look ironed. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
But you see, Sandra says here, Danielle. Oh, I had the wrong person. Sorry. I think we're like mixing them up.
I'll tell you what. Let's end it. I'm going to put in a film, The Boys in Blue, and I'll tell you exactly what her name is because it'll be in that, won't it? So, cast of Boys in Blue. Boys in Blue. It's Suzanne Danielle. Yep. There you are. She was
the one in Carry On, Emmanuel. Susan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was in in and around, like. Yeah, I told you she was in Hammer House of Horror. She was in.
Yeah.
Celebrity Squares is where I think I saw
Oh
her.
God, Celebrity Squares. Yeah.
Bob Monkhouse's Celebrity Squares.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Basically noughts and crosses, like
look,
girls and
I've
girls, really.
forgotten this. Listen to this one. Susan Danielle was in Destiny of the Daleks.
Yes, she was. She was
Baker.
one of the robot side, wasn't she?
Yes.
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 The Doctor and Romana always
Yeah.
used to do that thing, rock, paper, scissors, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
right? Because they worked out the reason that the Daleks and the what they call the Marveloids, Macaloids, I don't know what the hell they would call. I can't remember. The Molvians or something. I don't know.
Some very similar to that. I should know. I've been reading.
Anyway, is because it's two computers fighting against each other. So it's a stalemate. You have to have a human element. That was the whole point of that episode. Oh, spoilers! Sorry. So you have to have a human element, which is why they wanted Davros in the first place.
You see here, he's saying, was that Susan Dando you were thinking of, Sandra? It's all this Susan Daniel.
Honestly.
And he said, yeah, laugh out loud. It was, yeah. Anyhow, we're all mixed up with them. And then Rocket Bone said she was a swimmer, yeah.
No, she wasn't.
No, a gymnast.
Because I've answered that. That's Sharon Davis.
Yeah.
Sharon Davis. Now she was a poster girl. If anybody's seen, she had shoulders like this, but everybody went, "Whoa!" But look at that swimming outfit.
Yeah.
We were all just young boys. I'm sorry, we're not perving. We're not perving. It's just back then it was like, oh. We all had the picture of the girl scratching her ass with a bloody tennis ball. You know what I mean?
Oh God!
Back then, you know what I mean?
Anyhow, Tony says no gymnast. Rocket. I think I know the swimmer you mean, but can't recall her name. It's Sharon Davis.
It's Sharon Davis.
There, clever dick. Yeah, goes in there. Did you know that Suzanne Danielle is married to the Scottish golfer Sam Torrance? No, I didn't know that.
No, but I do know that she's still around and she does women's activities. You know, she's very big promoting women's things. Fitness. You know what I mean? You know, the promoting. You know, women in TV, in books and all that sort of stuff.
Oh,
and
promoting, right,
not girl power. I don't want to say that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And then, yes, Del, cheers. That's the one, Del. And then, Tony, I didn't sigh. Well, I found out 2 minutes before you, Tony. Okay. You've been Googling again.
Yeah.
What a Googling guy.
Cheats.
Yeah, and then I have, yes. And then Rocky Bunny says, Flash Gordon is also on Prime ATM. I agree with Del. Remastered onto Blu-ray would be glorious.
It would be glorious. I'd be out there buying it. I'll tell you that
now. Complete typo of something. Roger, oh no, the emojis that your streaming software can't understand. That's what I thought they seemed to be as Ian was reading them. Well, yeah, you know me. Max's equal plethermobile.
Plethermobile. Haven't heard of that for a long time. Pleather.
Pleather. Mr. O, luxury penthouse used to overlook Rowney Park. Oh, God, yes. Less said about him, the better. Bayek, it were hard in the 70s. He can get bread and ripping in candlelight. It was, lad.
Yeah, I must admit, Ian, you do remind me of that Monty Python sketch.
Yeah.
You know, when they turned around and said,
"Yeah,
that's luxury." That is.
Yeah.
My dad used to get up. My dad used to get up 2 hours before he came home. Live in a cardboard box. We had 5 people living in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's top living. That is.
Yeah.
When I was a lad, it was like, you do remind me of that. I have to say that sketch is gorgeous.
It is brilliant.
But do these new ones recognise that? No.
It's brilliant. 71 was a very good year. Oh, I presume you were born in 71 then. Rocket Bunny.
No, he's younger than me then.
Yeah. I have the film set in Northern Ireland. I have the film set in Northern Ireland. Not set in Northern. Film set in Northern Ireland. 240 pennies in a pound, Tony says. And 12 in a shilling. That's it. Yeah, 12 in a shilling.
Yeah, because you, Ian, are just weird.
Yeah.
Understanding that. You were weird. All this 10 bob shit.
Yeah.
It's decimalization.
Yeah. Decimalization. Yeah. Pound, you never understand pounds and pennies. 71 is a film set during the Troubles in Northern Ireland. Right. 71, yeah. I don't believe it. I bet the next shot Del does is Snow White.
No, it won't be. I haven't got the damn film.
People think you have. You just.
I was embarrassed to show it on this channel, right? I was embarrassed, and I'm embarrassed to show you this. I don't know how I pre-ordered this. It came through. I reckon I pre-ordered the cartoon, right?
Yeah.
From the 50s, and they sent me that nonsense, right? That's what I reckon. Or it might be the fact it was a steel book. I have to turn around and say.
Yeah, I'm afraid that would have a big factor.
Right. But it went back.
Yeah. They're having a laugh there. Yeah, and Si remembers Neil Kinnock fell in the sea. That's the one, yeah. And Tony says, I was typing that. I remember poor old Arthur Scargill being arrested while being part of a picket, and his words that he was dragged away, Britain, 1984. Wait, no rocket either.
Rocket, but he can't believe it. It's like 2001 Tron. Rocky, bloody hell! What's the point in being here? Jesus, I'm off.
Here we are. What? Rocky doesn't win. Next thing you're going to tell me is that Mrs. Bates isn't really psycho, which I'm halfway through watching.
I won't spoil it till next week then, Si.
Yes. His agreement. Alien 3 is better than Tron. Yes. Picture Crichton from Red Dwarf. Hold me back.
I'll tell you what, though. Really, I mean, the good thing about Alien, though, the first Alien film, I will say this is, I mean, had an absolute perfect score. Do you know who did it? It was Jerry Goldsmith, right?
Yeah, we got it in. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are you on about? What are you talking? I've never mentioned him before, have I?
No, you've just got it in because we're getting near end.
Really?
Right. I know those tricks. We nearly got there. We nearly got to end and you got it in. Dear. Yep. Actually, the thing is, I do believe Alien 3 is better than Tron by a mile. I love Alien 3. I don't know why Alien 3 has had such a bad rep. Yeah, I really don't.
I think it was the only place to go. How can you destroy a malevolent predator with no weapons? I mean, it makes sense on paper, doesn't it?
It's great. I like it. I love it. It says, in the voice of Harry Hill, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Fight. I remember that.
Yeah.
Here we are. When Ian was at school, they had a room of abacuses instead of PCs. Actually, believe it or not, you're right. Actually.
And they didn't have abacus. They just had a board. They just had a chalkboard. That's all they had. Right. In fact, actually, you did your homework on a chalkboard that you actually had on the desk. You didn't have writing paper. What's writing paper? They'd say paper. That's what you write your ass on, isn't it?
Oh dear.
You got to have a chalkboard. You can't wipe your ass on that. So there you are.
We had those old-fashioned desks. I don't know if you had. If you probably didn't by the time you were there, but we did have desks. We had those old-fashioned ones. Tables are out. Bloody hell.
Oh yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't know many people that actually had a slate to write their homework.
No,
on.
honestly,
I mean, we are talking Little House on the Prairie with that, aren't we? I mean,
my mum would have said, "Oh, we used to have a chalkboard." That's me. My mum would have said that. Yeah, but yeah, that was before my.
That's because slate was easy to get, wasn't it? Chalk.
Yeah.
Right. We're a bit short of chalk. You want to go to Dover? I'll see. You can soon get some. No, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What do you mean you ain't got any chalk?
Actually, we had teachers who thought they were really clever. You know, they'd have the chalk rubber, and say somebody was talking at the back or whatever. Suddenly, this rubber would go flying to the back, aimed at these kids talking. You know, they wouldn't dare do that nowadays because somebody would claim assault.
Anyway, look, we're past 11. We'll have to get cracking, haven't we?
Right, we are getting there. And let's see. Here we are. This one, yeah. The robot race at war against the Daleks and Destiny of the Daleks are the Movellans.
I nearly got it right. I said it's the I couldn't quite remember what the last thing I said was, but I was pretty close to that.
And then Sai says, "Have you seen the trailer for The Bride? It looks absolutely insane. Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. It sounds great.
I felt sorry that the fact that Robert De Niro got such a bad panning for his Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Why not Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Frankenstein's monster is a hideous creature. It didn't have to be a great big forehead and bolts out the neck and all that sort of stuff, right? And like everybody tries to do with Frankenstein, which is why I think you like Frankenstein Created Woman as one of your favorites, because
definitely
it doesn't have to be that way. All it is how evil is it to go again to be God and be able to bring somebody back from the dead.
Even
if it's in parts form.
You know?
I'm just going to remind you, brilliant.
I better do this now. I know it's a bit late, but if you haven't subscribed to Delboy's channel,
kiss of death.
Subscribed if you're watching. I've got it in the description and it's there. Please go and subscribe to his channel if you haven't. You'll see all sorts of wonderful things. His blog is fantastic. There's lots of other things. I say this every week, but if anybody hasn't subscribed, please go and subscribe.
He says it every week, right at the end when there's about 2 watching.
Yeah,
the funny thing is, I lose 3 subscribers every time he mentions it.
It's got up to 7.
He's trying to kill my channel. I swear to blind. But I tell you now, the nicest guy on YouTube is Ian. If you don't like this live stream, I don't know. You haven't got a heart, as far as I'm concerned, because this guy's just great. You know, he's a bastard, but he's great.
Yeah,
you know,
of course you've got to get that in.
You know, he's an old fart.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but he's a likable old fart. My sister said, "Are you going to do that thing with Ian Hill, the Bumblings?" I went, "No, it's not Bumblings, it's Ramblings, right?" So
a bumbling. Yeah,
the Bumblings. I had to laugh. I said, "No, it's Ramblings."
Ramblings going on. Like we do go on and on, don't we? And then look at this. That's why I saw that. It just reminded me.
Oh right, Tony York's fault. Might have guessed that bastard prompted you.
Anyhow, anybody that say, please subscribe to his channel. It's in the description. I'll do it again. And then Si says, "Whoops." Ian had to chisel out his own work on a slate.
Yeah, on
brilliant.
stone. He was Fred
Yeah.
Flintstone. He was. Look, he had a chisel, and in fact, he did his washing in a pelican's bloody beak and all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? Cement mixer was a pelican or something.
Rocket Bunny says, Alien 3 would be great if you didn't just kill your two main supporting characters that survived the previous film. Why couldn't they just be kept frozen or something? And then we've got...
I'd agree with that, probably a little bit. They didn't have to kill them, but it made more... I suppose to her, it was supposed to be a sense of loss.
Yeah, I get that, yeah. I was hit several times with a chalk rubber. I swear it caused... several mental issues.
Oh, it was that felt, wasn't it, on a bloody wooden brick or something?
You got this,
and they chuck it at you.
Yeah, knock you out.
I had that. I ducked. I tell you, I went, Jesus Christ!
I know, it's assault. They wouldn't dare do that nowadays. And then Rocket Bunny, there needs to be a subtle emoji which signifies, that explains everything.
Yeah.
And then we're on the last comment here, which is...
I bet it's that bastard.
Tony.
Yeah, look, there we go. Look.
Thanks.
Told you it was.
Thank you. And then Rocket Bunny says, good night, Tony.
Oh, I thought it was the last one, Tony.
And it is now. That is the last one here. So thank you, everyone, and who've been watching us. Thank you for everybody who's commented. And most of all, thank you, as always, for Delboy for making it such a great show. Really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's nice of you. I don't think I made it a great show.
And we've had a good laugh as well.
We've had a good laugh.
I hope you have enjoyed it as well. We've come up with some great things. So anyhow, I think we've got one more here. Si says, night, guys, and thanks to Ian and Delboy for the company, and say hi to Mrs. Del. That's
absolutely
nice.
Si. Thank you so much. Yeah. I will pass that on. You know full well I will do that.
And Rocket One says, good night, gents. Thanks for an entertaining few hours. Well, I'm glad we're entertained you. That's all I like to hear. Thank you so much. So we'll say our farewells.
Oh, right, yeah. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's good night from him.
Good night. Yeah. No, we always do our own, don't we? Which is, on mine, it's always salute, because of the great Frankie Howard.
And I always say, I'll see thee. I'll see thee again.
Good night.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye. We go.